Is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? It is the Monty Show. A pleasure to be with you on Tuesday, January 24th. 2023, just 16 days before the NBA trade deadline, and the Utah Jazz smoke the Charlotte Hornets. Here's a question. Why do you hate Gordon Hayward? I don't get it. I personally do not understand the hate that flies around Salt Lake City for Gordon Hayward 6 years after he left. And you still hate Gordon Hayward. Did the LA Lakers kick off silly season, and are the Utah Jazz next? We'll talk about that. Tom Brady melts down. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of Utah Jazz, this show, as always, is presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. The Advocates, make sure you find them online, theadvocates.com, where you never pay a consultation fee. You never pay a retainer. In fact, you never pay the Advocates until they win your case. Make sure you chat with an attorney right now, live online at theadvocates.com. I don't understand this Gordon Hayward thing. And I would love to this morning kick off the show talking about why you hate Gordon Hayward so much. Because he gets booed last night, and everybody on Twitter is talking about how much he sucks, and he's never been the same guy, and he screwed the Jazz. And Utah Jazz fans, I don't know if you are just bitter. I don't know if you are just upset. But why are you still hating on Gordon Hayward? It's something I don't understand. And I was a little taken aback this morning when you showed me, because I didn't see it, frankly.
Right.
I don't know where it is. Let me find it. This right here. This is from KSL Sports, tweeting a Gordon Hayward picture that says, "Thank you, Utah," like being smug about it.
Right.
Like being like, is this really is this really the level that KSL has fallen to?
Apparently.
Number one. Number two, are we really still this bitter in Utah about Gordon Hayward leaving?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are pissed about it still, which is unbelievable to me considering all that's happened with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And I think that, you know, it is true sports pettiness, in my opinion. I don't know who handles the Twitter at KSL. I don't know, you know, who thought that would be a good idea to send that tweet out. But to me, it just felt petty. It just felt like classic Utah sports media having to pick on the lowest branch it possibly could. You know, like you couldn't just put up a picture. Like my biggest problem is you're focusing on Gordon Hayward instead of focusing on Walker Kessler, let's say, or Lauri Markkanen, or whoever's on this roster right now that you really want to turn your attention to. And so to me, it's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get why we obsess over Gordon Hayward. Like, yeah, dude left. He left in a fashion that people didn't like, and then he was never the same guy. That's how his career panned out. He had the huge leg injury or ankle injury. His first game in Boston, in Cleveland, right? Like it just is what it is. So I don't know why people are so upset about it, but I was really surprised that KSL lowered themselves to that level, and frankly, it just reinforces the fact that you have nothing better to do than pick on old branches, than pick on old narratives and storylines. Like if I'm KSL, I'm focused on the new. I'm focused on new players and new storylines and exciting stuff, and we won a game. Like it's not that hard, man. It's just not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really surprised KSL did that. I guess I just hold KSL to a higher standard. You know, like that I'm a little surprised about. I mean, I just want to understand. So Everybody's upset by, like, look at Louis Capazzo's comment. Gordon is dead to me at this point. No reason to boo him. Just ignore him. For what? Why would Gordon Hayward be dead to you? Did he do something different than you would have done? That must be it, right? Because you would never have done what Gordon Hayward did then. Because, holy cow, he's a terrible person who's dead to you. You just said Gordon Hayward is dead to you. Are you kidding me? This is a guy that gave you a ton of memories and then did exactly what you would have done, and yet he's dead to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Like, and I guess that's the difference. I mean,
I just don't understand why people are so pissed that he left. It's not like the guy was Michael Jordan or anything. You know, I mean, Gordon Hayward had, like, yeah, Gordon Hayward was an all-star, but it's not like he was LeBron or something. It's not like Gordon Hayward is you know, like, an all-time great or anything. He's a solid little player, but it's not like he's some ridiculous, like, generational talent, right? Like, I think we could agree Donnie's better than Gordon Hayward. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, was it the whole blog post thing or whatever and how that all went down, or what is the...
And be pissed at Dennis Lindsey for letting Gordon Hayward go to restricted free agency.
I guess it would never happened if you'd have just paid the guy.
Boston gave him 4 years and $128 million, averaging $31.957 million, and it's fully guaranteed. And you're upset he said yes to that. You're upset he said yes to that.
And if you're not...
6 years ago.
Like, and if you're not, if it's something different, then please explain.
That's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. Like, it is... When you say things like Gordon is dead to me at this point, like, that means you hate that guy. How do you hate Gordon Hayward? Genuinely one of the nicest people. How do you hate that guy? Like, how do you say, oh, you're dead to me? If Gordon Hayward walked in here, would you say you're dead to me, or would you ask him for an autograph? You'd ask him for an autograph. Stop with this. You got to get over this. You got to get over this. It's the culture of the NBA. All right, it just is what it is. When Jordan Clarkson leaves and signs a pretty decent contract with another team this summer, that is if they don't trade him. Are you going to boo Jordan Clarkson if he doesn't re-sign here? Is he going to be dead to you? Come on now. Like, I just don't understand this. I'm not telling you how to be a fan. I'm not telling you what to do. This is foolish. It's petty. It's childish, right? Like,
yeah, it is.
We're a better fan base than this. Salt Lake City is a better fan base than this, in my opinion.
And I just think it's clearly a bigger issue. If KSL is still tweeting about it, I mean, maybe do we overvalue KSL? Is KSL not relevant?
This is shocking to me. The KSL tweeted this, and for what? Like, what do you get out of this? Is this funny? Is this like sarcasm? This is petty bullshit. That's what this is. This is KSL being a fish wrap. That's what this is. This is KSL begging for views and likes and wanting to be relevant. That's what this is. It's petty, childish BS, and KSL is better than this. And yet, I'm sure that everybody thinks it's neat, and I know that I'm probably making too much out of this. But
I don't think you are. I think KSL is the biggest ticket in town from a news standpoint, and I think that you know, tweeting a picture like that is irresponsible. It just flat out is.
And Jazz fans, you need to get over it. You would have done, and this is what you can't get over. You would have done the exact same thing Gordon Hayward did. You would have done it. He didn't abandon you. He didn't bust your ass like you're some, you know, like some girl that he went and cheated on you with your girlfriend. He gave you good years. And then 6 years ago, he left and signed a massive contract with the Boston Celtics. He's from Indiana. Hello. Like, are you kidding me?
It's just not hard to understand. Like, it's not hard to he's an East Coast guy.
He played at Butler.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want... Well, like, are you serious? Yeah, anyway. Okay, we should stop.
Yeah.
We should. Am I making too much of this, everybody? And feel free to tell me I am. Please feel free to tell me I am. I mean, he's a kid that was born in Indianapolis, played at Butler, and played for the Celtics. I'm going to guess he was a big Larry Bird fan. Mm-hmm. Why is it shocking he would go to the Celtics? It's not.
No.
It's not shocking at all. It just isn't. I agree with Tanner. This is the 6th season. And by the way, he hasn't been the player he was when he was here. No. And when he was here, he was an average player. He wasn't an elite player when he was here. Did he ever average 20 points a season with the Utah Jazz?
I highly doubt it.
I don't think he did.
I highly doubt it.
I don't believe that he did.
He was a high teens, 18, 19 a game guy.
And by the way, I'm just curious. If Gordon Hayward had stayed here, would you have gotten Donovan Mitchell?
No.
Who left, and now you hate Donovan Mitchell too, by the way. He never averaged. He averaged in his last year in Utah, he averaged 21.9 points a game.
And his last year, there you go.
And he's never gotten back to that level. Do you feel better? It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jazz fans I'm not going to say all Jazz fans. I think there's a sect of the fan base that is particularly bitter.
I would
agree
with
that.
That's what I think. I would agree with that. All right. By the way, the Jazz did win a game last night. So let's see. All right. Let's get a couple of comments in here real quick. I'm on pre-workout and doing cardio, a.k.a. I'm wound up.
Well.
I love that. See, own your. That's exactly right, Capazzo. Exactly right. I'm on pre-workout. Your face is tingling.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Dude, that's one of the greatest answers ever. Kanai Johnson says, "Damn, y'all still mad at Hayward leaving? Cut the umbilical cord and move on." Exactly. Brett Robbins says, "That's like saying Stockton and Malone was 30 years ago. Get over it." No, it's not. Was he ever Stockton and Malone? What are you talking? He was an average player, man. And he turned into Gordon Hayward turned into Donovan Mitchell. What are you talking about, Stockton and Malone? I'm not talking. It would be the comparison is okay. If I'm just sitting here being a jerk about it, I'd be like, it's Michael Jordan. Get over it. You're never getting over Michael Jordan not pushing off on. Anyway, the point is flu game, Anyway.
What's up, big bro?
Yeah, you're never getting over that, right? You're never getting over that. It's average-ass Gordon Hayward who promptly broke his leg, man. Get over it. You're hanging on to this like the guy gave you herpes or something. What are you... What? Oh, my God. Anyway. Wow. Gordon Hayward was an average player when he was.
You're still pissed.
Anyway, Gage Carter says, not to mention Brad Stevens coached in college too. Hello. What are we doing? Lopespan Gabe, when people show you who they are, believe them. KSL clearly isn't better than that.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
They're probably
You
not.
want to call us YouTube hacks, and you got KSL out here picking on stories from 8 years ago or whatever.
Hey, we're the hacks on YouTube that almost have 10,000 subscribers, by the way.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the hater who's like, you guys don't even have 10,000 subs, man?
If I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it.
Don't
know. I don't know what Buddy's going to do.
Oh, I love it.
I don't
dude.
know. I don't know what this town's gonna do when we cross that line.
What's gonna happen when we have 10,000 subs and you can't be like,
you know what? You know what we should do when we cross 10,000 subs? Do you want us to put out a Gordon Hayward tweet? Is that what we should do?
I guess.
Is that the thing now?
129 subs to go. We're at 98. We're at 98. 71.
It could happen by the end of tomorrow.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. All right, let's move on from this. Let's talk Utah Jazz basketball here on the Monty Show. Your Utah Jazz. While we pounded Gordon's ass. Put it on tape or it didn't happen. The Jazz 120, the Charlotte Hornets 102. Lauri Markkanen leads the Jazz with 25 points and 11 boards. This is a good win. This is exactly what you needed from this Jazz team. I think Lauri Markkanen, again, is proving why he's an all-star. I think he's proving why he's a guy that belongs in that game in his own building, absolutely. And one of the things I thought was so interesting was the lineup mix that Will Hardy used. Because I think you're seeing on a week-to-week almost basis, there's a guy who sits in the doghouse, a different dude every week, it feels like.
Yeah.
Right now, it's NAW. Nickeil Alexander-Walker can't get off the bench for the Jazz. He comes in last night, and he plays 4 minutes of messy basketball at the end of the game. He's a -7, and he scores 4 points. The good news is Doak got in as well.
Wow.
Udoka Azubuike, 4 minutes, no points. He was a -7, as was Fontecchio, as was Balmero. But right now, are you surprised that Nickeil Alexander-Walker isn't playing regular rotational minutes?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I felt like he earned a spot, but I mean, I don't know. Clearly, there's a a bigger plan, and this is could be the impact of the looming trade deadline. I mean, it could be that NAW is a guy they're going to keep either way, most likely, and so they don't feel the need to play him right now. They need to play guys and show guys value, and to me, it could be that. It could be that maybe Hardy saw something on NAW he wasn't a big fan of. I honestly don't know. Like there's multiple reasons it could be that you don't want to play him, but what I can tell you is I think NAW is the hardest worker on the team when it comes to in-game. I think NAW runs his ass off all night when you do play him, and he works hard on defense. And, I think that NAW has been nothing short of one of the best team guys that the organization's had in a minute. So to me, I'm sitting here saying, logically speaking, there has to be a reason why NAW's not getting minutes right now when you were just busy running him out there for 25 or 30 a night the past 2.5 weeks. There's clearly a reason. And hey, maybe it's a low-key injury. Maybe they're just maintaining him. I really don't know. But to me, it is a little surprising you're not playing him more than 4 minutes.
But I look at the rotations, and the thing that really stands out to me as we look at these lineups, obviously Ochai Agbaji has earned minutes. I mean, just on the fact that he is an incredible athlete. His ability to shoot that corner three has clearly gotten him into favor with Will Hardy, and his effort is high.
I'm for real.
But does that mean that NAW can't play at all? The answer is I don't think so. But I also think this is the second half of our Jazz conversation today. Trades need to happen because now you have this kind of logjam. You've always been guard heavy on this team, right? Now with the addition of THT, obviously Ochai, obviously NAW, and that doesn't even account for the Mike Conleys and the Threesley or Beasley, whatever you would like to refer to him as.
Right. Thanks, Holly.
It doesn't account for Malik Beasley. Like you've always been guard heavy on this team. And then you have a guy like, a Lauri Markkanen who should be playing power forward, but he's much more of a three, right? So it creates these awkward situations in the lineup. I think trades have to happen because no matter how well this team is playing now, no matter what this stretch of home games yields for you, you need guys like Ochai Agbaji to get a shot at starting and playing 30 minutes. And if he proves not to be ready for that, great, reduce him. You need a guy like NAW to make or break on this club because you need to know what you have moving forward, because I don't think any of us question Ochai Agbaji is a guy you want to see more from. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a guy you want to see more from because playing him 4 minutes or 0 minutes a game is not developing him. Send him down to the Stars. Let him play it. Let him go play it here at the Mavericks Center. Let's see him play heavy minutes. Let's see what the top end of these guys is, Jake, because I think that's how you figure out development.
Yeah, and I think they're working on finding the balance between developing guys that they know are going to be here and playing guys that they know they want to trade. And that's the Jordan Clarkson conundrum. That's the conundrum for a couple of these guys is like, if tomorrow Jordan Clarkson suffers a season-ending injury, well, obviously now you can't trade him. So to me, it's like if you're going to sit NAW, then I would be very careful with Jordan Clarkson. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because again, I'm going to die on this hill this year. Like, if you don't trade Jordan Clarkson, that's an outright mistake. And I don't care what Ryan Smith thinks about whether you should trade him or not. He's not coming back. You're not going to pay him all that money. You're not paying him $70+ million. That's just not the right decision for where the organization's at. And that's not my opinion, really. That's a pretty much a universal, well-accepted thought. that it doesn't make sense for them to re-sign him at that number, at a number that, in my opinion, he deserves to be paid based on what he's done.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, yeah, you do need to play these guys and you do need to develop guys. But I also think when you're inside of 20 days to the deadline, like there is a lot of basketball to be played there. But that's where I say, why is NAW getting 4 minutes? Is he nursing something and you don't want to put him on the injury report? Has he done something to just fall out of favor somehow, even though I don't even know how that's possible on this team? Like when you're not even playing for championships and there's not that much on the line, you're just developing.
But I also think that's why you're playing Talon Horton-Tucker. I think you're playing him to showcase his value. I think when you look at guys like Rudy Gay, the only explanation for Rudy Gay getting significant rotational minutes is you're trying to showcase him in trade to show that he has some ability left. Like you're not playing Rudy Gay because you believe he gives you the best opportunity to win. And if you do, Will Hardy should be fired for that because there's nobody that has watched this team play that thinks that Rudy Gay gives you the best opportunity to win. I have not. And hey, again, maybe I just don't know basketball, but I think when you look at guys like Rudy Gay, it's pretty clear he does not fit in this system, and he is not getting his best use out.
He's no Gordon Hayward, but he'll do. You know what I mean? So to me, I mean, it makes perfect sense as to why you would be playing him, but this trade deadline needs to happen, and in 2 minutes on this Rui Hachimura situation that everyone lost their mind about yesterday. Dude, like the Jazz were never in on Rui. That just was not ever going to be.
Yeah, where did that come from? That the Jazz were one of the first teams in on Rui Hachimura.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
We told you the day that news came out, the Jazz were not in on him. They're not going to pick up a questionable player who's had subpar performance that is going to need to be extended this season.
Y'all feel me?
That's not who you're going to bring in to play power forward for you. So I think it was very clear from the beginning they were not in on that. It makes perfect sense for the Lakers. They don't need him to be a star. Frankly, if he gives them 10 points and 7-8 rebounds a night, they're going to be a much better team for it. So I think he's a great fit for the Lakers. I don't think he's a good fit at all for the Jazz. And the thing that's so funny about like the Jordan Clarkson conversation, I think it's awesome that nobody is reporting that, oh, hey, he's gonna re-sign with the Jazz. I think everybody is acutely aware that when he opts out this summer, he will not re-sign with the Jazz. And my guess is that they will wind up trading him.
Yeah.
I mean, we have talked about this for weeks on end now, that he told them, I'm not going to talk about an extension because it will cost me money to do that. And you're not talking about a little bit of money. You're talking about between $20 and $30 million in total comp if he signs an extension today with the Jazz, that he is just leaving $20 to $30 million on the table.
Yeah.
That's insane money. And the Jazz are not in a position to offer him, I don't even think you could justify paying him $60 million.
Listen, it's one of two things. Like, the reality is you're either going to trade him and get some value back, or he's going to hit the open market, right? You want to talk about Gordon Hayward? This is the same conundrum you were in with Gordon Hayward.
Yes, it was.
Like, let's not sugarcoat it, right? Gordon Hayward averaged in that last year, like we told you, 21 points, I think it was, that we said. And you didn't want to pay him, Dennis Lindsey. Now, I know Dennis Lindsey's long gone, different front office. We're in a different world now, right? As far as the Jazz are concerned. But funny, same situation, right? We all love Jordan Clarkson. He's everyone's All-American. He's a sweetheart. The owner of the team, Mr. Utah, tweeted about Jordan Clarkson and not trading him. And he tweeted about Joe Ingles and not trading him, right? But the reality is you're not going to sign this guy to that kind of deal. And he's not going to give you a team-friendly deal. So that's why I say when I see, big names like, Mark Stein out there, or any of the names that you want to look at talking about, hey, well, everyone's basically open, they're open for business on basically everybody except Laurie and Walker. That does make perfect sense. But I agree with you. It's funny. No one's talking about Jordan Clarkson. And why is that? Because he's going to hit free agency. Like, he's going to do that. And I think this hesitancy around trading for him, I think is proper, and I think it's correct unless you're those three teams that are going to compete for a Larry O'Brien trophy this year.
And I also think this is why they're struggling to get a first-round pick for Jordan. I mean, he is going to opt out, and he is going to get paid. And I don't believe that a contender is going to pay Jordan Clarkson $60 million.
But if you're a contender, and this has always been my thing, I agree. You're not going to pay the guy $60 million if you're a contender, but that's not the ask. Danny's not asking you to pay $60 million. Danny's asking you to pay for half a season.
No, but if you trade for Jordan Clarkson, and let's say Miami comes up a lot, I think Atlanta would love to have him, let's say Milwaukee. So you trade for Jordan Clarkson, you can make that deal work, you know, salaries, et cetera. You don't have the cap space to re-sign him over the summer. Are you really going to commit $60, $70 million to Jordan Clarkson for 3 years? He's going to wind up getting a deal from a second-tier team who's going to overpay to bring him in.
My name is Luca.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It'll be interesting to see. Like, Dallas is very interesting because Dallas has a lot of needs. It's why Dallas is interested in guys like Malik Beasley. They need, like Milwaukee, absolutely should be interested in Jordan Clarkson and Malik Beasley, and I know they want Malik Beasley. I've heard that repeatedly because they need perimeter shooting. Yet you're not going to extend Jordan Clarkson in the summer even if you do trade for him. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you need Jordan Clarkson. That's the guy you need off the bench. And by the way, are you really paying $60, $70 million for a six-man? Because that's how 99% of the NBA values Jordan Clarkson. The Utah Jazz are that one team that believes Jordan Clarkson should be starting. And I'm telling you now, he's a six-man on any championship team. He's a six-man. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think that it is very telling the conversation's taking place across the league right now.
I just think it's this dynamic around Clarkson is so interesting to me because I get it. Giving up a first-round pick for half a season with JC as a championship contender, I get it. Like, that's not great basketball business, right? Like, if you just said, okay, hey, it's going to take a first-rounder, to go ahead and get this six-man who's going to come off the bench and give us 20, maybe even 30 on any given night, right? That's not great basketball business, but I don't know. Maybe I'm on an island on this one. I just feel like if I'm Milwaukee or I'm Brooklyn, let's say, or I'm any of these teams that are like right there and need just a little more to get over the top, I feel like if I said, hey, give me a first round pick and here's a Larry O'Brien trophy, you're doing that.
I think Brooklyn would be a phenomenal fit for Jordan Clarkson.
Right?
That's one of those deals that's absolutely a no-brainer.
And you're telling me that if he went to Brooklyn, let's just say, as an example, and we're not saying that he's going to Brooklyn, but just as an example, if he went to Brooklyn and he had all this success and he won a championship and then he hit free agency, you're telling me that the Nets wouldn't have a better chance to re-sign him? I mean, come on, dude. Like, let's not play silly. The guy wants to win, but he also wants to be paid. So that's why I say, I get it for 99% of the league. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
But I maintain, my opinion is, for those couple of teams, it makes a lot of sense.
Jesus Christ destroys Marxism, which you got to change that name. The reports have said they will have enough to pay him by next summer. There are no reports that have said they'll have enough to pay him by next summer because reports don't say that. They're going to have cap space. It's not a matter of, the Jazz won't have the cap space. They're going to have the space. But you're a rebuilding team. You're going to pay a 31, about to be 32-year-old $70 million in a non-championship window.
Come on.
That you're saying that's what, because he's going to get I think he's going to get offers between $22 and $24 million next summer in free agency.
And by the way, the second half of his comment is even more
Jordan
incorrect.
is open and understands the business and wants to work a deal with Utah. Nobody
That's not true.
Nobody has reported that because that's not the case. That's not the case.
Don't play intramurals, brother.
Jordan Clarkson has never said, I'm going to wait till the summer. And so let me get this right. You're a pending free agent, the last contract of your career likely. And you're telling people that, hey, I'm just going to stay here in Utah and I'm going to negotiate a contract with the Jazz. I understand it's a business, but I'm going to stay in Utah. Guy, that's not what he said ever, anywhere. Jordan is open and understands the business, wants to work a deal with the Utah Jazz.
No.
He's never said that. Never, not one time.
In fact, it's quite the opposite. He knows the business of the league, and that's why he's going to get paid.
Which is why he said he's open to a trade to a contender.
With all due respect.
And he's essentially asked to be traded to a contender.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like this that wrecks NBA. Like,
where do you even
these
get that?
Rui Hachimura reports, this is the perfect example of this. It's Twitter guy who's like, oh, the Jazz are first in on Rui Hachimura. No, they were not.
Garbage.
No, they were not. And we told you as much on this show.
Yeah.
To at least use common sense. Apply common sense to this comment right here.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Lewis says, Monty, there are so many non-PG-13 comments that can come from that pounding his...
Yeah.
There is.
I know.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Mark Hale says the Jazz have too many guards to play everybody. I would agree they do. They are very guard heavy. Me and my nephew saw Dax Milne and his quote-unquote girlfriend while standing in line for food at the game. Nice. Nice. I like it. Hip says there are more upset about how he left. People are more upset about how he left.
But
So you're upset about a blog post that leaked early. So that had nothing to do with Gordon, by the way. So you'll remember Gordon Hayward was going to the Celtics. Gordon Hayward penned a blog to essentially say goodbye and, hey, here's what I'm doing. And it was published early. And that's what you're upset about. What, you're really 6 years later, you still are upset about that.
you know what people are saying, though. They're saying, hey, it was his blog post, his problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it wasn't. Do you really think, A, these guys write their own blog posts, and B, do you think they really run their own blogs? Lewis says, NEW with time will be a person to watch out for.
Agreed.
I think he's a bench guy. I think he's a guy off your
But
bench.
he's solid,
I don't
bro.
know
He's
that
solid.
he is, but I don't think he ever projects to be an NBA starter.
No, I don't know that he's a starter, but listen, the teams that win championships have to have a good bench. You have to have that guy that comes off the bench and makes a difference.
Yeah. Anton says, I think Bronny can go to any college he wants to. All I have to do is pick up the phone. Why are people... So why does this matter? This is... apparently you say people are all pissed about this. I say...
Yeah, they're upset for a couple of reasons. I mean, people, one, are not amused that Bronny has basically a fast track or an easy button to go to any school he wants. And to that, I say... that's a you problem because that's how athletes work. I mean,
no, to that I say go learn to play basketball then. Go be the basketball player that Bronny is, and you too can go to any school you want. Pay for your kid to get LeBron's DNA and then train his ass off and have knee surgery and go through it. Why do we hate successful people so much? This I don't understand. Anton says LeBron could call Nike in Oregon and Bronny would go to Oregon starting quarterback. Well, okay, great. What, is this a problem, though?
Well, I think Anton is laughing about this. I don't think Anton's actually mad about it, but I do think there are people who are salty about it. I think that, yeah, people don't like, people...
But this is Gordon Hayward. There is not somebody in this chat or on this planet, certainly not in this state, who would say, no, I wouldn't have done what Gordon did. Okay, tell me how you would have handled Gordon Hayward leaving to the Boston Celtics differently. NBA free agency is a process, man. And to me, I would have done the exact same thing. That's life-changing money. He'll never have to worry about him breaking his leg. His money's guaranteed. $120+ million. Mm-hmm. You're saying no to that. When the Jazz said to him, go test the market. When the Jazz said to Gordon Hayward in restricted free agency, yeah, we just don't believe that. And we don't think there's a market out there for you. Go ahead.
You understand what restricted free agency is, right? You get that, right? Hey, go test the market. If you get an offer, we get the chance to match it.
Why would you allow him to do that? And then once you did, re-sign him in restricted free agency, did you really think he wasn't going to take that personally? And then the kid from Indianapolis you don't think wants to go play in Boston where Larry Bird played?
And if you take Larry out of it, it's the Boston Celtics, bro.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
Yep. Tanner wants to know if Jesse Harsh asked Dax if they're still friends with Zach. Yeah, that's the first thing that would come to my mind. Eric Hawk says, why are Jazz fans mad at Gordon? One, the manner in which he left, not that he left, kept the Jazz in free agency hostage for 72 hours. So again, I'm just asking you, what would you have done differently?
Donnie, please.
That's the process in the NBA, man. That's the process.
I like how the idea is he kept them hostage for 72 hours. Bro, you got guys out here keeping organizations, quote, hostage for months on end. Like 72 hours? Like, really?
And by the way,
come on now. Come on.
The Jazz knew what was going on in those 72 hours. There was no keeping them hostage. They knew he was going to Boston. They knew they knew the day that season ended that he was not coming back. And then when he got his contract from Boston, do you really think they just don't talk to the Jazz? Or do you think like the Jazz knew what was happening? Yeah. There was no hostage taking.
Yeah.
And by the way, he didn't make it official for if it was 72 hours. I don't remember exactly. Should he make it official before he puts pen to paper or before all the details are worked out?
No.
Come on. Serious? Like, are you being serious? Like, you welcome back Darren Williams with round applause.
Which I thought was hilarious.
The guy that sent Jerry Sloan into retirement. You gave him a standing ovation. You don't. And by the way, speaking of John and Carl, do we just forget who Karl Malone is as a human being? Well, and the fact that he went and signed with the Lakers and tried to snatch Kobe's wife? Like, we just forget all that.
Oh, but it was Stockton and Malone.
What are you talking about? We have to play JC to squeeze out any value he has left in the trade market. His expiring contract is not something exciting for a new team. No, I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem. Robert Lambert said, I'm not sure I understand Jake's take on Clarkson. He says he deserves to be paid $70 million-ish, but at the same time, we should trade him. Why not wait and pay him and keep him if he deserves the money?
That's not what I'm saying, dude.
Not at all. I think the issue is with Jordan Clarkson, if you're the Utah Jazz, do you want to pay a 71-year-old guy or a 31-year-old guy who's going to be 32? You want to pay that guy $70 million for 3 years, and by the time he's done, he'll be in his age 35 season.
His market value is that. You need to just understand that. That is what he could go to free agency and get paid by another team in the league, right? I'm not saying they should pay him. I am in team trade JC. That's where I'm at. You should trade him because his contract is expiring. What I'm a little different on, just in my opinion and my thought, is that I think there are a select few teams where it makes sense to give up that first-round pick that you might have to go ahead and get a rental in Jordan Clarkson for half a season to bolster your team for a playoff run and really for a championship run. That's where I think for like 2 to 4 teams that makes sense. For 99% of the league, dude, 99% of the league is hoping that the Jazz don't trade JC and he hits free agency, because then
I think so.
Then they can get after Buddy and say, hey, we got cap space. They're paying you 75, let's say. Well, we're happy to bump that to 77, right? And there's going to be this bidding war, and Jordan's going to benefit from that. So I'm saying, hey, the Utah Jazz are essentially a rebuilding team that needs to be really smart with their cap and really effective with the trades they make. And re-signing someone who's in his 30s at the backside of his career, who's clearly not a fit for a rebuilding team, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's where I'm at on it.
Yeah, I think you're crazy if you're a Jazz fan and you want the Jazz to roll the dice on Jordan Clarkson in free agency. You're crazy.
For such a smart person, you really are lost, aren't you?
That I don't understand, because you're going to be pissed either way. If they don't trade him and they gamble on free agency and he walks, you're going to hate Jordan Clarkson, I would guess. I mean, because you unrealistically hate Gordon Hayward. So I would assume that you will unrealistically hate Jordan Clarkson. If they trade him and he does not re-sign this summer, at least you got a first-round pick for him, I would assume. These are those situations, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a little saltiness in the air this morning.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that there clearly is.
Mercy.
I think that people see Gordon Hayward and all of a sudden they turn into villains, like which I just don't get.
Yeah. Anton says, I'm not salty about it. Bronny is a hell of a basketball prospect, and the fact that he's LeBron's son doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anton, you're not salty about it. I understand, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex Cooley says, I have a feeling JC isn't going to get traded and he just leaves in free agency. Again, I will tell you, every time I've talked to a source about this, they are trying to trade him. The issue is that they cannot currently, with over 2 weeks to go before the trade deadline, they haven't been able to get a first-round pick for him.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably a lot more focused on Malik Beasley because Beasley is the hottest guy on the trade market.
Yeah.
I don't think their trades are out there to be made. I mean, the Lakers deal with Washington proves that. And there are teams that are going to be more aggressive than others. I think the Lakers are one of those. The Phoenix Suns, I'm told, don't want to give up a first-round pick right now. Well, then you're probably not going to make a deal. The Suns are a team that needs to make a deal, at least. A deal, at least. And I think it's a little nervy that we have not gotten much of an injury update on Devin Booker. That's a little scary to me. Mm-hmm. And I agree with what Monty Williams, and I think I even got kind of ass chewed on this. When Monty Williams says it's his fault, I overused him. I didn't give him rest. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And I think it is one of those things. And look at that. Look at what Mark Stein is reporting. I think Mark Stein listens to the Monty Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. Mark Stein's reporting the Suns have started to assess their future without Chris Paul. You're welcome. They have identified Terry Rozier, Emmanuel Quickley, and Fred VanVleet as potential trade targets.
So they're not, yeah. So all that means, that has nothing to do with Chris Paul. You know what that has to do with?
Nothing to do with Chris Paul.
That has to do with new ownership change. Hey, this is not the year. We're not going to rush Book back. We're going to play for next year. We're going to be smart about this. We're going to be patient, and we're going to work this out. And see, that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, don't get hung up on Rui Hachimura garbage. Don't stop. Like, just let that go, man.
Those are all smoke screens, dude.
Like, I'm telling you guys, Phoenix and Atlanta are the two teams that if the Jazz are going to hit a home run, right? Hear me clearly, because I don't want this to get twisted when trades go down. If the Jazz are going to hit a home run and get an A+ rating on this trade deadline, the Hawks and the Suns are the two teams that they need to lay down in bed with, because all three of these organizations have initiatives and goals that they can help each other with, and the money works. So to me, when you start getting, hey, our future without Chris Paul tweets, that kind of tells you where that organization is at, on top of the ownership thing, on top of the Book injury. It makes sense, man.
Well, and I think we talked about this at length a couple of weeks ago now, that Chris Paul is a guy that they recognize as a problem. And what I think what this tells you is exactly how many times have we talked about this related to Chris Paul, that they're concerned about Devin Booker's long-term future with the Suns.
Yeah, as they should be.
And I think that this is why we talk about it so much, because I think Book is a guy that's looking at becoming an LA Laker. And I think Devin Booker sees the window in time opening up for him to go to LA. And I think he sees the opportunity to become the next Kobe in LA.
Yeah.
And it makes perfect sense. And I think that that's what the Suns are focusing on. I think Devin Booker is a guy that he is an elite talent waiting to happen. And I don't know that it ever happens in Phoenix. And Fred VanVleet does not help him grow.
No.
And I think that the Suns very wisely are starting to...
Malik Beasley does. I can tell you that.
I think Malik Beasley does help him grow. And I think what the Suns are recognizing now is, if it hasn't closed already, their championship window is closing quickly.
Very quickly.
And they need to be aggressive now if they want to win a championship. But then again, I think their new owner is going to come in and spend a whole lot of money. But James
Jones has been good. I mean, James Jones
excellent.
Has been everything you want. So to me, I think their head is in the right place. But I'm telling you this, the ownership changeover thing that's happening behind the scenes is a bigger deal than I think most people realize. Like, You're talking about a culture shift in the building. You're talking about an end of what was one of the worst.
The circus.
Yeah, like the the circus, like the drama. I mean, it truly is the end of what was one of the worst ownership, situations in all of sports. And to me, if I'm Devin Booker, I gotta give this thing a real hard look, because I gotta know, hey, is this new owner really going to come in and spend money, or is this new owner really going to come in and try to make money for himself? Yeah. Like, I got to know that.
Yep. All of our Utah Jazz talk on the Monty Show, presented by Quick Quack Car Wash, the best place to get a wash. Where did I go yesterday? Well, I went to Quick Quack Car Wash with my guy.
Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you the secret to impressing my neighbors, the wife, coworkers, you name it. I just swing by Quick Quack. It seriously takes 2 minutes, and people won't stop checking me out. Getting a clean car is definitely my best life hack. Kids are messy, camping's dirty, but my truck sure isn't.
The greatest line ever uttered on a commercial on this show. Can't stop, won't stop checking me out.
Hey, guys.
I love it. We went to Quick Quack in the district yesterday on our way home from the crib, we'll see from the Maverick Center to the... Anyway, we went to Quick Quack Car Wash at the district. We were in and out in 5.5 minutes. We were about 7th in line, and the car came out looking great. And what did I get? I told him again, hey, I need a muddy duck. She takes the marker, and what did she say? Hey, welcome to Quick Quack. Puts my plate in, comes back and says, hey, anything else we can get for you? Yeah, hey, can I get a muddy duck? Yeah, no problem at all. Writes it on the window, waves at the guy. They talk a little bit. Sprays off the front of the car, sprays off the back of the car.
It's the hand signal routine, right? Hey, guy, dude, hey, check this out. He's got a muddy duck.
Yeah, pimp my ride.
Yeah.
But the best part is in the tunnel, when you get a muddy duck, which basically means they give you double the water and double the soap, this big brush comes down, and it's a roller brush, and it sprays water out of the middle of the roller brush.
I'm for real.
Dude, it's so cool. And the car is immaculate after that. It's amazing. Go to Quick Quack Car Wash because the people are great. If you're not a member, I don't know what you're thinking. You should be a member at Quick Quack Car Wash. I pay $21.99 a month. I get their best wash, and I can go 1 time or 100 times at Quick Quack Car Wash, who presents all of our NBA and Utah Jazz talk.
And speaking of which, if you're not a member of the show, a couple of things happened yesterday that we can't talk about yet.
Oh, my God.
But you might want to be a member of the show.
Dude, I am so stoked. Our March 10th event last night.
Something happened yesterday. We have a name that you guys know.
A massive name. Somebody
that you know will be there. So and I'm talking about a name.
We are having my 50th birthday bash here at the Maverick Center on March 10th. And it's a Grizzlies game. You're going to have a chance to win all kinds of prizes. You're going to get to hang out with 2 big-name football players in the state that I'm really stoked about. And if you are a member of this show, you are guaranteed entry. Chris Karn, who was the first member of the show, is the first guy that's got a free pass into the event.
Yep.
But I will say now, with the name that we got, you guys are going to want to be there. He is one of the biggest name athletes in the state of Utah.
Yep.
And I cannot wait. Yep. Huge names coming to our 50th birthday bash.
What's up, big bro?
What's up, big bro? Big prizes, big names. It is going to be remarkable. The link is right there to become a member of our program. It not only gets you entry, it not only gets you an exclusive video every day, but it gets you access to our members-only chat on Instagram, the Monty Group members-only chat that has been unbelievable. I had a great time chatting with everybody during the Jazz game last night, during the NFL playoffs over the weekend. Tanner Plummer having like monumental, evolutionary type development from puberty to manhood by embracing the Super Soaker name in the chat with all of the members supporting him being the Super Soaker. I mean, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say. Dude. You get all of that for $9.99 a month. You can cancel at any time, but trust me, the Instagram chat is worth its weight in gold.
Yep.
It is going to be amazing. Amazing. Let's see. San Diego State says, my vote on worst ownership in all of sports is a tie. Robert Sarver and the Bidwells. Is it something in the Arizona desert air? Well, speaking of Michael Bidwell, 10 of the hour, every hour on the Monty Show. It's Football 50, presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. That's right. We'll get back to the Jazz coming up here in 10 minutes. Let's talk about what the Jazz should do. What's the right thing to do with Jordan Clarkson? Coming up in 10 minutes right here on the Monty Show. But right now, Football 50 presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza, the meatball marinara. It's back at Papa Murphy's, but let's talk pizza. Traditional crust. Now, also in the comments, are you a red sauce guy on pizza or are you a barbecue sauce guy on pizza? Because I'm telling you, I believe in, I think science backs me up on this. I believe that when you put barbecue sauce on pizza, it changes your DNA.
Dude.
I believe they back me up on that scientifically and stuff. Somewhere in the universe, it's amazing. Get the traditional crust, get the barbecue sauce, the mozzarella, and then pile on all kinds of good stuff you like on your pizza at Papa Murphy's Pizza. But make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. Speaking of the Arizona Cardinals, would you hire Sean Payton? And if you're Sean Payton, would you take the job with the Arizona Cardinals?
I would hire him, but I wouldn't take the job.
You would not take the job?
I would not go and work for Michael Bidwell. I think he's one of the worst owners in sports. I think the idea that you kept Drunky the Clown for as long as you did, Steve Keim, the idea that you thought it would be a good idea to draft Josh Rosen, the idea that you thought it then would be a good idea to go ahead and move Buddy and trade up in the draft to go get a guy in Kyler Murray who's selfish as hell. And remember at the time, let's not forget, wanted to be an Oakland A. Like, come on, dude. Like, you have to be better. The Arizona Cardinals are that classic team that buys a bunch of talent and doesn't know what to do with it. It's the Dallas Cowboys all over again, man. Like, you're not going to win anything as long as he's the owner. It's just the reality of life, dude.
I think if you're Sean Payton, it's a hell of a lot better than going to Denver. I think Michael Bidwell wants to win badly. I think he hired a really sharp general manager. I think the Arizona Cardinal job is way better than Carolina is, way better than Denver. I think it's the best job. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm on the other end of this from you. He's taken the interview today. He's delayed a second interview with Denver to take this interview today. I think Sean Payton wants to be the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and I actually think it gets done. And I think Sean Payton's going to want to move on from Kyler Murray. And I think that this is a new day in the history of the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because you have a young GM and you have the premier head coach. I love this spot for Sean Payton.
If you want to do that, I can get down with it. If Sean Payton goes in there and says, hey, we need to move on from Kyler, and I've got a whole plan and a whole thing. If that's on the table, I kind of get it a little more out of Sean Payton's camp. But just to go in there and kind of take over where Cliffy left off and have to deal with Kyler, I just don't see that as nearly as attractive as being able to go in there and build your own thing.
Yeah, Brett Robbins says I agree. You want Sean, but to be in Arizona, nah.
Yeah, I just struggle with it, dude. I think that. The idea that Bidwell wants to trade DeAndre Hopkins, like, what are you thinking, dude? Like, what?
He's making too much bread.
Yeah, but
you need a retool.
You
need a retool on the roster. I listen. Bring in your GM, bring in your coach, and let them football. That's what I would say. Andy H says Mark Davis was way up there before he moved the Raiders to Vegas, but he slid back out of the top 5 worst owners. Isn't Daniel Snyder the worst owner in all of sports right now? Especially knowing that Bobby Sarver has a contract to sell the team.
The Dolans, I would say, are there.
The Dolans got to be there. I think the Spanos family with the Wales Vagina LA Chargers have to be there. Absolutely. But Robert Kraft is not there, and Bill O'Brien is there. Bill O'Brien returning to the New England Patriots to be there. I don't even know if I can say this cleanly. They have offensive coordinators in New England.
What?
Who? Yeah, how about this? This is a great hire for Bill Belichick. Bill O'Brien, once again, he's back, folks. The new old returning offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, back with the Patriots. I think this is a huge move. This was a problem. Mac Jones make or break season coming up because Bill O'Brien knows how to develop quarterbacks. There's no doubt about that. And speaking of developing quarterbacks, am I the only one that thinks Nick Sirianni's an idiot for saying this about Jalen Hurts?
I know this is high praise, but to have him out there is like having, I shouldn't even go there, but like his having like Michael Jordan out there. Like, he's your leader. He's your leader. He's your guy. He's your, like that's, hopefully that's the biggest respect I can pay to him, comparing to his ability to being on the field, to a Michael Jordan type. Like, this guy leads, he brings this calmness to the entire team. He plays great football. He's tough as they come. Yeah, I mean, to me, there ain't nobody has played any better football than him this year. To have him out there is like, I know this is.
Are you serious right now? I'm sorry, did you say Jalen Hurts is like Michael Jordan? He said that. No, he didn't. I must have missed. Did you mean Michael B. Jordan, the actor? Creed and stuff?
So when they lose
what a
this
stupid
weekend,
thing to say.
When they lose this weekend, who's the one that's going to catch flack for not being Michael Jordan on the football field?
Man. Dude, this is so bad. It's it's awkward to watch him talk. I don't know what it is. He just wigs me out. B, you're having a sensational season. Why would you bring up Michael Jordan as compared to Jalen Hurts, who's playing on one arm, and the wrong arm, by the way, because his throwing shoulder's effed? Why would you bring up Michael Jordan here?
Yeah.
This is really dumb.
Yeah.
This is really dumb. And yes, Andy H, exactly. Hurts like Jordan? Bruh. Yeah, because he ain't. Yeah. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And finally, have you guys seen this Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman story? Here's Ed Reed's thoughts on not being the next head coach at Bethune-Cookman.
Motherfuckers. Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. And they got parents in here. And no, I don't want to leave. And like I told you, I want all these recruits. But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kinds of stuff going on around here. Hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? And Dion was right. And I know I'm right.
Woo! That is Hall of Famer Ed Reed. Mm-hmm. After he found out that Bethune-Cookman withdrew the contract and they're not going to make him their next head coach. And it all started because Ed Reed went on social media and said that his office was a dumpster. It was dirty. They didn't clean it before they gave it to him. And now all of a sudden, philosophically, they're not aligned, and Ed Reed's not the next head coach at Bethune-Cookman. This is a huge mistake because I actually thought Ed Reed was the right choice to be the next head coach at Bethune-Cookman. And somebody's got to put that dude on staff because did you see that flex? Like, that's the passion you want in your football program. That is the passion you want. This is a big mistake. And again, for HBCUs, guys like Ed Reed are critical. Guys like Prime are critical. You have this really small window in time where Deion Sanders has elevated historically black colleges. You need to take advantage of this. And screwing Ed Reed out of the job at Bethune-Cookman is not what I would call taking advantage of this. I think this is a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And I think it's bad for all HBCUs. I just think it's
a bad look for sure.
It is a bad look. Football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Hey, why don't you get yourself an XL NY, a large pizza cut in triangles.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza. A lot more.
That's our extra large New York style take and bake pizza. And it's everything you'd expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven. And only $9.99.
Do I have to share it?
It's recommended, but not required. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Really, all you need to do is download the Papa Murphy's app. It's super easy to use on your phone. And then at the end, use the coupon code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Man, I'm telling you, if you are getting Papa Murphy's Pizza and you don't get the marinara meatball, no better dinner tonight. Go and get the marinara meatball. You know, you can put it on pizza, chop them up, put it on pizza. You can just get the marinara meatball and put it in your pasta and make spaghetti and meatballs. Or you can just get the marinara meatball and eat the meatballs because they're fantastic.
Yep.
It is really, really good. Really good. By the way, squares or triangles on your pizza?
Squares all day. Team square.
I think it is.
Team square, bro. I ain't here for triangles, bro.
Why bring up team lean versus team squat? Why do that?
I'm not here for triangles, man.
You try my patience every day with your stupid team lean.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And by the way, if you know, you know. I'm not having that conversation again.
Nah.
Although I will say the greatest member ever, Greg Hawkins, who's the only actor or model, he's legitimately an actor and model, is team lean, and I'm a little concerned about that.
Well,
I don't get
maybe
it.
you should come to the dark side.
Nah, bro. Can't break the wrist. Can't do it. This show is presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Theadvocates.com, because they get it, man. When you've been in a car accident, it's one of the worst days of your life. If you total your car, it's one of the worst days of your life. Not only are you probably banged up pretty good, your car's totaled. How are you getting to work tomorrow? How are you picking your kids up tomorrow? I mean, it is very, very different. And I think the thing that really stands out about the advocates is they actually have empathy. They care. They genuinely care about their clients. And I think that's why they understand you can't say, okay, give me $10,000 retainer, we'll help you.
Yeah.
They don't do that at the advocates. What the advocates do is they say, no, keep your money in your pocket because you got to get right in your life. Keep your money in your pocket. Let us fight for you. Don't pay us until we win your case. That's how confident they are in their abilities to represent you and get you what you deserve. You didn't deserve to get hit by that guy that was looking at his phone. We almost got crushed on the way home yesterday by a guy in an Escalade who was looking down at his phone.
It's Escalade, please.
By a guy in a Escalade who was looking down at his phone.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be in an accident like that, but you do deserve somebody to fight for you. And trust me when I say your insurance company's not doing that. Do not rely on your insurance company to fight for you. Rely on the advocates. That's why they call themselves that name. Think about that. An advocate for you when you've been in an accident who's not asking you for a retainer or a consultation fee. They're going to help you defer your medical bills. My God, you only have one choice when you need an injury attorney. It's the advocates at theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney live online right now at theadvocates.com. All right, let's see. How about circles into squares? No, this is not the Hollywood squares. The barbecue smoked is the best. Guys, I'm telling you, put barbecue sauce on your pizza.
Guys.
Forget the red
Hey,
sauce.
Hey, guys.
Barbecue sauce makes any pizza better. And I mean, God forbid you're a pepperoni fan because, I mean, come on. The one
this
in
man
a million.
was a bona fide scrub.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Boyd Lake says, or better said, Team Pie.
Right.
Oh,
right.
There's so many. Mark Hale says, Mrs. Monty cuts the pizza into squares. She does because she's a good woman. She's a good woman. Ron Nolan says, Sweet Baby Ray's or KC Masterpiece. Sweet Baby Ray's. It's not. Is that
all
a thing? Jeff Johnson says Team Lean. Boyd Lake says Team Triangle.
By the way, Ron, when are you joining the membership, bro? I'm waiting on you to create that Instagram account, bro.
Let's go, Ron Nolan. Eric and Raleigh says Circle Pizza. Guy, come on now. Come on, Eric and Raleigh. Brett Robbins says Team Square, thin crust all day, every day. My guy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, by the way, if you want to join our membership, there's the link right there. I just put it in the comments. Again, $9.99 a month. You get exclusive information. Everybody here that is a member had the Jordan Clarkson first-round pick story before anybody else had it. A full 24 hours ahead of everybody else that got that story because you're a member of the Monty crew. Program. So you get the information first. You also get an exclusive video every day. You also get discounts on our merch drop. I'm so stoked about the design on our sweatshirt. Looking forward to that. We're only going to make 25. There's 63 members. Do some math here, folks. Not only are you going to get it first, you're going to get a discount. That's coming up. And this March 10th event,
dude, it's lit.
Tomorrow morning at 8, we'll make the announcement. But if you're in the group, you already know who it is. And I'm telling you, it's exciting. To have two of the biggest names in Utah sports, I'm looking forward to that. Anytime you can watch Utah Grizzlies hockey, and you can do it with a bunch of dudes, and that includes two athletes that you know and love.
And the food's going to be bomb, dude.
Come on now. It's going to be amazing. McKinley Cutler says, team lean at home, team squat everywhere else. Oh, my God. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Ron Nolan says, get your meatballs bathing in barbecue sauce. Papa Murphy's will do it. Ooh. I'm telling you, I am team marinara meatball.
Oh, yeah.
But I am also team barbecue meatball. And
yeah, the meatballs are undefeated, dude. 100%.
The other thing that I like about barbecue sauce, frankly, is the barbecue sauce on like ground turkey.
Mm-hmm.
If you instead of, dude, I mean, we could go on all day. I won't, but we could.
We really did.
But we could. Let's see. San Diego State says square pan pizza, a San Diego State favorite back in the day. Nothing wrong with pan. I'm good with that. TBE at DK says, I'm interested in it. I haven't watched long enough yet to be sure I want to join. Well, come on, man. First of all, I hope we all understand TBE at DK's, who that is. She is a draft queen's goddess. We've seen your stuff.
We know you started a YouTube channel. We know you're hustling. We know that you're working hard on your craft.
No, let's be honest. She's also making money on daily fantasy, it looks like. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Better send those refunds.
You know. Let's see. Arlington Bear says lean triangle, depending on the damage. Depending on the damage to the bidet.
That's funny,
Chris
dude.
Karn, you
that
stud.
That is funny, bro.
San Diego State Xbox update. Well, funny enough, we're giving away an Xbox at 10,000 to one of our YouTube subscribers. But we decided that we would give, instead of an Xbox, I don't know, maybe this is the conversation. Do you want an Xbox giveaway in the membership group? Or do you want exclusive access to the contest, to like the March 10th event?
Yeah.
Do you want everybody?
Trust me when I say it's as valuable. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm with it. Lopes fan Gabe says, like button casuals, 33 likes are rookie numbers in this racket. Pump those numbers up.
Dude. I mean, come on,
those
bro.
are rookie numbers.
Come on, man. Be better. Like, come in here. Do your part.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Like, absolutely right.
Do your part. Make it better. 34 likes. Come on, bro.
We've had almost 700 views, and we only have 35 likes now. Let's go.
Come on now.
Hey, but Brady Cook's the newest member. Let's go. Brady Cook is now in the Instagram group. The members-only Instagram chat on Instagram with all the Monty Show listeners. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold. But now Brady also gets access to all of our member-only exclusive videos. Brady also gets access to all of our merch drops, all of our discounts, all of our inside information. Make sure you DM Jake, SLC Jake on Instagram and Twitter. DM him on Instagram. He'll put you right into the Monty group. Everybody welcome Brady Cook, the newest member of the Monty Show. Appreciate that. Let's go. Mike Maple says, who's already a member, by the way, Mapes says Detroit style square deep dish. Stop it.
See,
Mapes.
I don't think I've had
Mapes, my guy. See, I view you like you're a mentor, man. Like you're a legend. I idolize you. And then you say stupid crap like Detroit style. You just could have just stopped at Detroit style.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
Because Detroit style, no, just stop.
Detroit, like, dude, nothing good happens in Detroit. We know that.
Duh. And Jared Goff's their quarterback. Are you kidding me? And then you put deep dish behind Detroit style. Like, I mean, part of me wants to say, Mapes, Like, have you hit your head? I don't know you to be a methamphetamine addict, but then you say stuff like that, and I'm like, what toxin is infecting your brain that you would take Detroit style followed by deep dish?
Fucking donkey.
I mean, do we need a wellness check on you? Are you kidding me? It's Chicago deep dish.
Yes.
Chicago.
Yes.
Giordano's. Stop it. Whatever. Detroit deep dish refund drop.
Yeah, come on, guy. Come on, guy. Come on.
Better send those refunds.
I like how we're getting people calling for drops now.
Yeah, that's always good. Mate says, I didn't name it. Okay, fine. Ron Nolan says, I'm an old school. I just barely put away my dial-up. Got to smartphone. I don't do Instagram. LOL, sorry. China owns Instagram? No. I mean, might as well. Meta, Facebook owns Instagram.
Well, here's the deal then. At least, I know you know how to join the membership. I know that. And you get a membership video. There's plenty there.
Exactly.
Better send those refunds.
Troy Cushing says birthday bash all day.
That's what I'm saying.
Raptor88 says birthday bash. G-Off. What's up, G-Off? Jim Rome had an amazing Jeff versus G-Off bomb yesterday. I thought of you, Jeff. He says LFG Team Brady. Okay. We're going to have a conversation about Tom Brady coming up at 7:30. Troy Cushing says, welcome, Big BC. Let's go. Brady Cook, the newest member of the show. Love you. Thanks for being here. Troy Cushing says, Chicago, Lou Malnati's deep dish. My guy.
Yes.
San Diego State, man. Dude, I should give you a free month. FTB12, he says.
If I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it.
Are you serious right now?
Tom Brady's a gangster for that. We'll talk about TB12 coming up at 7:30. Let's talk Jordan Clarkson and the Utah Jazz here on the Monty Show, because you got to love, A, the Jazz win last night, no contest. B, you got to love the fact that so many people are convinced that the Jazz will or will not trade Jordan Clarkson. I'm telling you the same thing I've been telling you for weeks now. Sources have told us that Jordan Clarkson not only will not sign an extension, he has told the Jazz he would like to be traded to a contender. Jordan Clarkson, if you don't know, is going to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. He has a player option for next year that I am told he is certainly opting out of, and he will become an unrestricted free agent this summer. What that means is NBA sources have told us that his value on the open market is $22 to $24 million. And if you do some math, that's a minimum of $60 million, right? And you can go 66, you can go 72. It's totally up to you. I think somebody is going to push $75+ million over 3 years on Jordan Clarkson. And if the competition gets deep, I think you could see a fourth year. The Jazz should want nothing to do with that deal. If you're a Utah Jazz fan, you should be rooting for the Jazz to trade Jordan Clarkson. Not because he's a bad player, not because we don't like him on this show, because that's what brings you closer to a championship. Moving Jordan Clarkson to a contender for a first-round pick brings you closer to a championship. That's what your goal on this show should be. Mm-hmm. Win a championship. The issue is, as we reported first right here on the show yesterday, the Jazz currently are struggling to get a first-round pick for Jordan Clarkson. Mm-hmm. Now, there are 16 days left before the trade deadline on February 9th. That certainly does not mean that they will not get a first-round pick. It just means in the early part of the window, where we finally yesterday got the first trade of significance, nobody is desperate enough to give a first-round pick to Danny Ainge for Jordan Clarkson. And certainly, as we reported yesterday, Malik Beasley, according to NBA sources that we've spoken to, is the hottest name on the NBA trade market.
Facts.
Multiple teams, including Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, and Milwaukee, are in on Malik Beasley. That's a cat that there's competition for. Is that multiple picks? Is that a first-round pick? We're going to find out. But I am told that Malik Beasley is in high demand around the NBA. But as far as Jordan Clarkson goes, as a Jazz fan, get in the comments. Do you want the Jazz to trade Jordan Clarkson, or are you willing to risk him walking away in the summer? I think that is a very, very big question. And I think when you look at some of the trades that are out there, like this Miami trade, I've seen repeatedly over the last 2 days that the Jazz are talking to Miami about Duncan Robinson.
What are you, nuts?
I'm telling you, the Jazz, my sources at the Jazz have told me directly they want nothing to do with Duncan Robinson.
Because it's garbage.
Nothing. This is not unlike, though, Saban Lee. The only problem is Duncan Robinson's making a buttload of money, and the Miami Heat are not going to pay that contract.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Jazz have any desire to have Duncan Robinson be a long-term piece of this club.
You're not in the business of picking up more contracts of dudes who don't perform. Like, you're not in the business of picking up contracts of dudes whose play on the floor does not equal what they're being paid. You're just not. You're not doing that anymore. And Duncan Robinson has been someone the Miami Heat are trying to offload for 2 seasons now, right? It is widely regarded as the worst contract in the NBA. It's no secret that he is way overpaid. No secret. So to me, if I'm Danny Ainge, I know what I want out of Miami. I know what I want out of these different teams. It's very straightforward, very cut and dry. And the challenge is going to be what Danny is willing to compromise on. Because if he compromises in the wrong areas, let's say, or he compromises really at all on draft assets, that's going to be a problem. So that's why I say this Jordan Clarkson thing, you have to get value out of Jordan Clarkson. You have to. Like, you can't do the whole, hey, Jordan, here's a handshake deal. You're going to come back to us and we'll work it out. We'll work it out might be the most dangerous phrase for we're not interested or we're not really wanting to do it. So that's why I say, like, I don't know, man. I think that you can't play this game with Jordan Clarkson. Like, take the emotion out of Jordan Clarkson and just say, hey, man, this guy's done a lot for our organization. We really love the guy. We respect the guy. We wish we didn't need to trade him, but we do need to trade him. And it just is what it is. That's the business of the league, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to me that the Jazz have for almost a year now controlled the NBA trade market. If you think about the Rudy Gobert trade, the Donovan Mitchell trade, this whole Jordan Clarkson discussion, it is remarkable to me that here we are and the Jazz are controlling the trade market once again. That's remarkable to me. And I'm not surprised by it, but it is crazy that Danny Ainge continues to pull the strings. It's crazy. Ron Nolan says, as a non-member, inside information, the pie uses Sweet Baby Ray's, Papa Murphy's KC Masterpiece, apples and oranges. Okay. I'm not.
Ron, I love you. I love you, bro, but I'm not really sure what you're getting at there, my man.
Yep. Chote Reyes Fagilius says, is Hachimura trade to LA fair? I think it is.
Define fair, bro.
I think the Lakers won the deal. I mean, they gave up 3 picks. 2 of the 3 were not their own.
Yeah.
3 second rounders, and Kendrick Nunn. I really like that deal for the Lakers. The scary thing is, I think it makes the Lakers a playoff team. Now, having said that, if Anthony Davis is going to be out all year again, if he comes back and you're already getting the Laker rumor mill, oh, he looks amazing in practice. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Why isn't he playing? Well, he's not ready yet.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
If he looks amazing in practice, put his ass on the floor because LeBron can't carry this team for much longer. I just can't believe that goes on.
Yeah.
But you look at these conversations that we're having about Rui Hachimura, the one thing that you're pretty sure of is the guy can shoot the 3. And the one thing that the LA Lakers need is a stretch who can shoot the 3. Yeah. He can rebound. He's a wanting defender. That's a guy that if he gives you 10 points, if he gives you 5 to 7 rebounds a night, they're winning more games than they are now.
The rack attack!
It's that simple. And if you can just get 3/4 of the remaining games where Anthony Davis plays, you're in much better shape.
Yeah.
Like, this is a playoff team. Are they contenders? They're not contenders. They need to make more deals. Will they? I don't know. Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, NBA people have said repeatedly, does not want to trade a first-round pick. And if that's the case, I don't see how they get better.
Yeah.
Yusuf, what's up? Good morning to you, friend. Alex Chacon says, can't let him walk away for nothing.
Totally agree, dude.
I don't think you can risk letting him walk away for nothing. Brandon Whiteside says Monty is now team tank. No, far from it. Alex Cooley says, Jovic, please, and thanks. Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, Jovic. And that's the guy you want. 19 years old, plays for the Miami Heat, power forward.
I want it.
I would love to have the guy on the Jazz roster. I would play him every single night.
Yeah.
The minute you get that guy, you are not doing a thing with him for the next 3 years, but playing him 30 minutes a night. And let's see where homie goes. Because I think he is one of the most intriguing talents in the NBA. And nobody talks about him. If I'm giving you Malik Beasley, you're giving me Jovic. Or I'm not giving you Malik Beasley. It is that simple. Because I've got other suitors for Bees.
Yeah.
I can move him. That's great. I want Jovic. You want other pieces? Okay, great. Let's make a deal work. But I am not making a Beasley trade with Miami unless I get Jovic. It's just not. I'm not even starting a conversation.
Yep.
Not even starting it. Brett Robbins says, I don't see the Jazz signing Clarkson, so take anything you can get, preferably in a package instead of single. I think the thing that you have to do is not trade Beasley and Clarkson in the same deal.
Yes.
I am convinced you will get more for them in a different deal than you would in one deal.
You guys see how cut and dry this business is for the Jazz? This isn't difficult to see the path, right? Keep Jordan and Beasley in 2 different deals. Make sure you trade JC at the deadline. Try to find a 3-teamer that includes Beasley, Vando, and get that done. And then you've got Mike Conley, who's also available, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is not hard to see the path. And that's why I'm saying, hey, whether it's a 3-teamer with Phoenix and Atlanta or Dallas gets involved on Conley, whatever the case may be, they're going to make deals. It's going to happen. Like, Danny and company are not just going to sit on their hands and hope for the best here. So to me, I that's what excites me about this deadline, is that for once with the Utah Jazz, it's not some complicated thing. We're not talking about Leon and his 87 first-round picks, right? We're talking about, all right, hey, this is the business, this is the numbers, who does that match up with? And it's just very simple. And that's where I think Danny Ainge can really operate, because when the foundation's there, that allowed you to kind of build the house in the way you want to do it. And that's where Danny accelerates, in my opinion. And that's where he, or not accelerates, excels at what he does.
Yeah, I think he just, it is what somebody said, one of our listeners said on the day that the Rudy Gobert trade happened. It's wild to see Danny Ainge operating on behalf of the Jazz.
Some shit happened.
But I'm telling you, it's exactly what you want to see. And again, not to keep sticking my finger in the open wound, but you can't be emotional about your players. You cannot. And I understand that as fans, we're now players and fans of players. But if you're a Utah Jazz fan, this is exactly what you want to see. This is exactly the situation where you're hoping that Danny Ainge continues to operate in this fashion, because, again, the Utah Jazz are controlling the trade market. They have got 2 of the most in-demand free agents, and if you or players, excuse me. And if you put Mike Conley in there, you've got 3 of the hottest players in the NBA trade market between Malik Beasley, Jordan Clarkson, and Mike Conley. And when you look at the LA Clippers, I think I'd be paying a lot of attention to Miami and Atlanta. I think the Milwaukee Bucks, but I'm telling you, the dark horse trade partner with the Jazz is the Dallas Mavericks.
My name is Luca.
They're open for business, and they are trying to be aggressive. But the problem is, I think you have a lot of players who don't want to go to Dallas and play with Luka long term.
Yeah.
Because he is not a guy that makes people better. And Jalen Brunson, there's no better live illustrated example of a guy that got away from Luka and became a superstar in this league. Because I think Jalen Brunson's on his way to superstardom at the Garden. And it's because now he is free to be creative. He is free to blossom as a basketball player, which you can't do that under Luka Doncic, because I think he really, absolutely, I think he squelches. I think he suffocates your game. Like, there's just no I in team, but there is in Doncic. And I'm telling you right now, Luka's a selfish player. And I'm not the guy that cares what you average per game. I just care how many wins you have.
Yeah.
And Luka Doncic averages more per game than wins. He is much more concerned about averaging points than getting wins. Because if he cared about getting wins, he would pass much more than he does.
That's right, T.
So I just am not here for – if I'm an agent, I don't want my guy playing for Luka.
Yeah.
You know, like I just can't do it. Connor Tulin says, my name is Luca.
My name is Luca.
I live on the second floor. Such a good song. It is just such a good song. Brandon Butler, good morning to you, my member. Good to see you. Hell, if the Jazz can trade him to Brooklyn, just get the better pick of the Houston Brooklyn pick protection removed. Well, it's hard to do that. I agree with that. Mapes says, move Beasley first to drive demand for Clarkson. I would. Marby Dog, good morning, Marby. Good to see you again. Does Dallas want Clarkson and Olynyk? I think LA wants Olynyk. And the thing that scares you is you hear the Clippers now. You know, like I was talking to an NBA guy yesterday who said they're out in the market for a big.
Yeah.
They're out having conversations about Robin Lopez. They're out having conversations about backup bigs. That should worry you a little bit because if you're Danny Ainge, Kelly Olynyk's trade value is only limited to those who need a big, and that's not something that's in demand in this league right now, unless you're the LA Clippers, because the Clippers need a big, and it's a little scary that you hear about the Clippers and you know they're trying to make a deal with Washington for Gafford, or you hear about them trying to make a deal for Derek Jones in Chicago. And you hear about them trying to make these moves for guys that rebound and bigs that can shoot threes. Anybody know a guy like that? Yeah, his name is Kelly Olynyk. He's not going to be a prolific three-point shooter. Why do you think Miami's trying to get Kelly Olynyk? Because they know that they need depth at the big.
I'm a man.
They do. Bam Adebayo is not dissimilar to Rudy Gobert. Now, he's a far more evolved offensive player. That much is very clear. But you can scheme Bam into a box. And you need a guy that can come in and really stretch the floor at times.
And street clothes Davis.
Well, and that's his value. He's a guy, Anthony Davis, but now he's turned into not a great three-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand he hit one of the biggest shots in the history of the LA Lakers in the bubble for that championship. But I'm telling you now, you need a guy that can knock down the three. And Kelly Olynyk shoots the three at a pretty high level.
Right.
And if he's a rotational big that can hit threes, there's a lot of value in that for the LA Clippers.
Yep.
So I think a Conley-Olynyk deal to the Clippers makes a heck of a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And if you look at the bigs that are available right now, and I'm not saying Kelly Olynyk's that dude. He's a guy that has value to the Clippers because you don't need him to play 35 minutes a night. You need him to probably play 20, 25 minutes a night because Ivica Zubac is actually a serviceable big. Yeah. But again, the other guy that comes into this conversation is the name I'm sure Jazz fans are tired of hearing about, and that's John Collins. It makes a lot of sense if you're a team that needs rebounding and three-point shooting. Do we know a team? The Utah Jazz needs rebounding.
I want it.
Anyway, the point is, if you're a team that needs rebounding and three-point shooting like the Clippers,
yep,
you're probably not in on John Collins, but you're definitely not out, right?
What you're in on is a three-team deal that includes John Collins going somewhere. And I think that's kind of the magic of it, and that's what we're waiting for is these three-teamers to get set up. And maybe I could even see a four-teamer, depending on the teams involved, like where because the multiple team thing allows you to operate better. It gives you a little more flexibility, allows you to do some things. Like to me, I look at it and I say, hey, like, that it makes sense with all these teams that have needs. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Make sure you hit the like button. Please go ahead and hit subscribe as well. We are really close to 10,000 right now. We are at about 120 subs.
Come on.
To 10,000.
Let's go.
Tell your friends. Let's get going. Would love to have you guys on board. We're pushing 750, 800 views this morning with only 50 likes. So if you're one of the 200 people watching the show right now, hook it up. Hit the like button. As we talk Utah Jazz basketball, 5 minutes from now, we'll switch to Tom Brady's comments on his own podcast where he cursed out somebody for asking him about his future, which, okay, that's fine. I'm not saying Luka's bad. I see a bunch of comments about Luka Doncic. Alex Cooley says, wouldn't mind Tim Hardaway Jr. He's hurt all the time.
Maybe Hardaway and Buddy
after the street clothes
can hang out on the bench together in LA.
Yeah, let's see. Tanner Plummer says, Mont, so you remember the Dallas has nothing to offer, which I totally disagree with. Dallas has picks. They're not great, if memory serves. But I think when you look at some of the guys on Dallas's
Just generally speaking,
roster,
they don't have some dynamic, deep roster that's got a bunch of dudes on it, man. Like,
no, but if I can get Dallas and Atlanta, if I can get Dallas and Phoenix, if I can get, because again, what did we hear about this trade yesterday with the Lakers? The Lakers wanted a bigger deal, a 3-team deal that would also end them up with a better situation at point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get a third team, so what did they do? They sent a bunch of draft picks and a nothing player, with all due respect to Kendrick Nunn. They sent a bunch of draft picks and a low-level player to get Rui Hachimura, who is a low-level player. It's not a significant deal because you couldn't get a third team in there. And I think that's why when you hear about the Jazz, and I don't mean to be redundant because I say this every day, a Jordan Clarkson deal's got to be a 3-teamer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hope that they can finalize a John Collins deal with Phoenix and Atlanta, because that deal makes sense, man. That deal makes sense. And it just is remarkable to me that, and we can go back to Dallas. Like, you look at Dallas, and this goes back to a year ago in Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
This goes back to last January when we told you, we were the first ones to tell you, hey, Spencer Dinwiddie is going to get moved. The Jazz should have interest. The Jazz are trying to do that deal.
And what do you know?
He winds up in Dallas, and he was pretty damn good for Dallas.
Yes.
Ask the Jazz in the playoffs last year. Spencer Dinwiddie's a guy that if the Jazz pull that move, Spencer Dinwiddie's on this team. And by the way, what did Danny Ainge say about the deadline last year?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't really my team. I wasn't really involved at that point.
Yeah.
Well, you were involved in the summer. And I would expect him to make big moves. But if you look at what Dallas has, they're gonna trade Christian Wood. For Christian Wood at $14 million, that would not be the worst thing in the world.
There is no question.
I mean, I'm telling you, he's 27 years old.
Yeah.
I have no problem with him on an expiring contract.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Wood, right? Like, I think it is one of those things that you just can't.
Expiring contracts are valuable. Like, expiring contracts are where it's at. And that's why I say, everyone's saying, oh, well, Jordan Clarkson and this first-round pick, it's not an attractive deal. I disagree. I think that it's not an attractive deal straight up for most teams in the league, but that doesn't mean that you can't get a deal done with some teams in the league.
But what happened to Christian Wood? Well, he went to Dallas, and now he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the player they wanted him to be. And why is that? Because Luka Doncic is very difficult to play with. And this is one of the big questions I have about Mike Conley going to Dallas. Is Mike Conley truly a great fit in Dallas?
I think he's a pretty good fit. I don't know about a great fit because I think Mike Conley needs a big to operate with to be really, truly his best. But that said, they just need to get Luka off the ball a little bit. You need to get Luka in space where you can create proper and favorable matchups that he can dominate for you, because he's already doing what he's doing. But imagine if you could raise that efficiency number for him. Imagine if you could. It just was easier for him. It just was a better flow offensively if you had that tried and true point guard who knew how to get you into the set, and Luka didn't have to constantly bring it up. Like, that was the magic of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson could bring it up the whole game, give it to Luka in the proper time and space, in the proper area on the floor, and then when Luka was sitting or Luka he needed one off or whatever, Brunson could go and get it done. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Dallas right now is that team that's going to be in the playoffs, but never is going to win anything until they solidify that roster.
And the only guys on that roster that really stand out to me are guys you would want to get a peek at are Christian Wood and Frank Ntilikina.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not doing the...
Like, Ntilikina to me is NAW 2.0. Like, he's a bench guy, but he's established.
But he's a guy that's a skilled point guard who needs development.
Yeah.
And New York and Dallas are not places you go to get development. And I think the other thing that's so fascinating to me is I'm not interested in Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm not interested in Reggie Bullock. I like, those guys are in their late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they are as players. I don't know if Frank Ntilikina has any room to grow. That's one that I'm super interested in. The other problem is they're not going to, and this is, again, just my opinion, they're not going to trade you Josh Green. I hear everybody saying,
he's valuable,
Josh
bro.
Green, you're going to give them Mike Conley. Does the money work? And you can't do a 1-for-1 probably with them. But does Josh Green and Mike Conley make sense for the Dallas Mavericks?
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I don't know that. I think as a player, Mike Conley's a great fit in Dallas. I think he makes a hell of a lot more sense with the Clippers for a trade. I think he does. Connor Tulin says, I'd take Olynyk on the Knicks with the Mitchell Robinson injury. Well, I think Mitchell Robinson would have been traded if he didn't get hurt.
To me, again, though, that's Mitchell Robinson is one of those guys like, yeah, he got hurt, so now he can't really be. I mean, he could be traded, but you're not going to trade for him right now. But to me, at the same time, if I'm Danny or if I'm a GM in the league, let's say, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, that changes a couple of things because now New York is not in nearly the position they were in.
That's right.
You're not in a position to move a guy that has high impact on another roster.
Totally
And
agree.
So now I look at this and I say, okay, well, now I'm looking at Brooklyn. I'm looking at, if I'm going east, I'm looking at Brooklyn. I'm looking at Washington. You know, I'm looking at these couple of teams and I'm saying, okay, if I'm a playoff team or really if I'm any team, I could use a guy like Joe Harris, right? How long have we been hearing about Kyle Kuzma? How long have we been hearing about, about Rui before yesterday, right? Like there are guys out east that are definitely available. And the real question is, who out west wants to be a dance partner in that Eastern Conference deal? Because that, to me, is the genesis. Like, we talked all about Atlanta on the show, right? How many, John Collins, DeAndre Hunter was available, but then the Hawks took him off the table, right? They said, nah, you know what? We changed our mind on that. We don't want to move him. So look around the Eastern Conference. Hell, the Chicago Bulls. You're telling me the Bulls aren't interested in making deals?
Oh, my God.
Right? So, there are all these teams out east that are open for business, and you have all these teams out west that are very much maligned right now. Like, the Clippers are trying to figure out, can Kawhi and Paul George stay healthy? And if Kawhi and Paul George can stay healthy, how far can we actually go, right? Then you've got the Lakers, as we've talked all about today. Haven't even gotten to the Suns yet, so that's why I'm saying, right? With all due respect to Luka in Dallas, there are deals for them, but that setup of Knicks, Washington, Brooklyn, Atlanta, those are the teams that you should be paying attention to.
Man, if I could do a Joe Harris, Cam Thomas, Jordan Clarkson deal.
Yes, dude. Yes.
It's hard to say no to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like for Brooklyn, that's why I keep bringing Brooklyn up with Clarkson because it makes perfect sense to me. I get it. You have to give up picks and maybe a little bit more compensation than you'd want to, but to have Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench is dynamic, bro. Especially, and I know Kevin's going to be back for the playoffs. They're probably slow playing that a little bit. He needs some rest. We get it, right? But to have him coming off the bench, could you
imagine Cam Thomas? I think he's 20 years old.
Come on,
21 years old on this team.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Put him under David Fizdale and Will Hardy, and let's go, dude. Let's go.
Can you imagine if you trade Mike Conley, you'd probably be starting Sexton at the 1. You would probably starting right away Jordan at the 2, but then Cam Thomas is filling in at the 2.
Yeah.
Laurie oh my God.
Yeah.
Joe Harris coming off the bench as a shooter maybe. It moved a little bit right there.
I know, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I know that Brooklyn would do that deal. I don't know that Danny wants to pick up 2 years of Joe Harris.
Probably not.
Because he's an $18, $19 million guy.
But that's the balance, right? So Danny's going to have to make those decisions. That's when I say, hey, what is Danny compromising on or what is Danny going to take? That's what I'm talking about. The commitment, that bigger contract that he's inevitably going to have to take back. Who is that and what do they bring?
Yeah. Alex Cooley says, haven't watched much of Cam Thomas. What does he do well? Right now, not a lot.
But he's athletic as hell.
He's not a high-level player. But that dude, I'm telling you, that dude's going to be a stud. He's going to be that guy where you're going to be like, oh, my God. Because he's that guy that, and I could be wrong, but he's that guy that you could say, hey, remember when he wasn't getting minutes in Brooklyn and they threw him into a Jordan Clarkson deal and he turns into a guy? That's who that guy could be. And he's 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be 22 until next October.
Listen to me. Okay, listen to me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
Go on YouTube after the show, because of course you're not leaving the show. After the show, go on YouTube, pull up Cam Thomas, LSU highlight reel.
Oh, yeah.
And then tell me this cat's not going to turn into a scoring 1-2 combo guard.
Because they don't have the volume to give him to develop him.
No.
In Brooklyn, as we talk NBA hoops, thanks to our friends at Quick Quack Car Wash on the Monty Show, they just don't have it. You know, like it is, they don't have the volume to give to Cam Thomas. That's the biggest issue. And if they did, they would. But a couple more, then we got to get to Tom Brady. Let's see. Joanne Matias says, Knicks are trying to trade bench players, not their starting center. Mitchell Robinson was on the block before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And the LA Clippers were absolutely interested in that. And I think it's one of the, and this is the Watanabe conversation in Brooklyn, by the way, right? Like, you don't want to trade Mitchell Robinson, but you need to trade Mitchell Robinson, right? Like, you need.
Yes.
And again, in New York, I think the conundrum is, how much do you trust Julius Randle? Because Julius is a stud right now. He is one of the best power forwards in the NBA. Like, what he is putting up for the Knicks right now, I think that I don't know. I wouldn't trade him.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. And I know he's been an enigma.
The issue is he's not a winning personality. That's the problem.
He's an odd dude.
Buddy can really play, but he is different.
But how much better has Brunson made him?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the Knicks.
The reality is Brunson's made them better and made Julius better, 100%. But they still need another piece. And you always knew that when you were doing that deal and you were, tampering behind the scenes. You always knew that you were going to need another guy. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you're the Knicks, how do you just sit on your hands here?
Woo. Dude, I look at, there's a couple of teams out east. If the Cavs get another piece, if they get a legit knockdown compliment.
Jordan Clarkson would be really good for the Cavs.
I think it is crazy good, dude. I mean, if they get a player, if the Knicks need more than Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
The Knicks need a legit alpha.
But do you see what I mean about the Knicks? Like, JC doesn't make sense for the Knicks, right?
No.
Because they're not ready yet. But, like, Donnie and the Cavs could really use a Jordan Clarkson off the bench. Brooklyn could really use a Jordan Clarkson off the bench. Hell, even in Lakerland, they could use Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench, right? With all due respect to what was, Kendrick Nunn and company, they could use Jordan Clarkson for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Somebody gave us a $5 tip, and I totally blew it off. There is Samuel Jackson. I apologize. He says, finally catching the live stream again. Work has been insane. Much love, guys. Good. I'm glad to hear work's been insane, man. I hope you're good.
Yeah.
Appreciate the $5. It always helps. No doubt about it. And you guys, I'm telling you, you should consider joining our membership because it is red hot. And I think any of the members here want to comment about our chat.
And
it's
if you've
amazing.
been waiting, sitting on the fence, right? Like, hey, should I not? I'm telling you, we've only had memberships rolled out for 2 weeks. And inside of a month of being a member, or now inside of probably 60 days of being a member, you will have met big-time personalities in the state. You will have been to big events. You will have done awesome things as far as this show is concerned. So I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold.
That, and you get Jeremy Bolton saying the Jazz need a John Amici or Detlef Schrempf type player. I mean, where else are you going to get that kind of stuff but from a member of the Monty Show?
Right.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Detlef Schrempf. What a great poll. Love that, Mayor. Love it. Chalt Raz Filias CRP says Clarkson Halliburton deal. Right, because they're going to... Man, come on.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on. Marby Dog says Josh Green has value to the Mavericks, but I don't think... Are they going to trade him to get what? That would be my question. No, last year during the Gobert trade stuff, you mentioned Dallas, Mountain. Someone said Dallas has nothing to offer, and you went on a hilarious rant. No, I agree with that. I think Dallas has a lot to offer. And I think Jalen Brunson leaving that team has exposed some folks.
Yeah.
They miss Jalen Brunson because Luka's not that dude. He's not. But it turns out that Dorian Finney-Smith ain't that dude either, right? So, Q Sam says Luka is a bigger version left-handed Harden. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Let's see. Yusuf says, if we don't end up with Collins, I'm going to be really mad. I think that's one of the more realistic deals. I really do. Brett Robbins says they turned down Kristaps they turned Kristaps into a corner light post. They did. I don't disagree with that. He's been pretty good. Now he's hurt again, though, by the way, for Washington, but he's been pretty good there. Brett Burnett says Wood has been fine in Dallas. Conley a better fit with the Clips, plus the Clips have some players and picks we want. I think Christian Wood has been subpar. He has not lived up to what the Dallas Mavericks have wanted.
Yeah.
That I don't think anybody even questions that. I mean, Dallas, I think, really needed his size. And I mean, but if I'm looking at Washington and Dallas tonight, right? I'm looking at that matchup. I think Washington's got a pretty good chance to win that game. Right? I just don't like the way that Dallas is put together.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's Luka and everybody else. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's not some huge cohesive group atmosphere at play.
Yeah, and you just look at their roster makeup. It's just awkward. Like they got blown out by the Clippers. Like, you know, a team that like, how long is Eric Gordon going to be on the market? How long? How long until somebody moves? Because I look at Dallas, and Dorian Finney-Smith plays 38 minutes, 4 rebounds, 8 points, minus 21.
Fat!
Tim Hardaway, 38 minutes, 22 points, minus 19. Luka Doncic, 39 minutes, 29 points, minus 23. Double. But he had a double-double, 29 and 10 boards.
Double-double and losing-ass basketball.
Greatest player ever on a really crappy team that's 2 over 500.
Come on.
And, by the way, they don't have depth. So you're awkward. And yet the Clippers, to me, like you look at some of the guys they have on that team, like when they get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, that is one of the best teams in the West. They get 30 and 21 from Kawhi and PG.
We really did.
And you get a Marcus Morris Sr. that's a plus 20.
Yes.
So everybody's like, oh, the Morris brothers suck. Well, he was a plus 20. Like, he's making contributions. 8 points, 3 dimes, 4 boards, 4 or 5 at the line.
Yeah, next question.
Who else on that team was plus 20? Nick Batum. Right? I mean, Norman Powell is a plus 20. Why are the Clippers good? Because they get contributions, and they're really good defensively. So anyway, I could rail on about this stuff, but I won't.
Yeah.
I won't. Appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Appreciate you doing that. Football 50 in 90 seconds, where we'll talk Tommy. We will talk Tommy. James Knight, what's up, my guy? Where you been? Don't get hung up on the plus-minus stat. But I think when you are a guy that doesn't score a lot, the plus-minus, the net effective is really important. It's really important when you don't contribute a lot. On offense, you better be defending. You better be rebounding. You better be playing solid pick-and-roll switch defense.
Yeah.
And that's what those plus-minuses tell you. So Brandon Butler says, anytime a player is bigger than the coach, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all. Dustin Mercer. Hey, Dustin. I like JC, but we would be stupid not to trade him. But what team is stupid enough to get fleeced for JC? I think he will have to be added with another person. I just don't know that you're going to – fleece is an interesting term. Like, what would be fleecing a team?
A pick and a young player.
For Jordan Clarkson?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. Tyler Edits says, I want the Suns to call up for Clarkson. I feel like their first-round pick in the future could be valuable for Conley. I like the Clippers trade.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the Suns own their picks, so they're just being a pain in the ass about it because they don't want to give them up.
And Danny wants their first this year.
Yeah,
which I think is exactly how I would handle it. I think it's a fair
asking price if you're asking for Jordan Clarkson.
I'd handle it that way.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, Alex Chacon says whole lot of missed IG calls. How hard is it? It drives me crazy. People in the IG chats always hitting the call button on accident. Oh, sorry about that, bro.
Oh, sorry. My bad, guys. Sorry. It's only 1 a.m. My bad.
I don't give a baker's fuck.
Brandon Butler says, I am the price of admission. I am with the price of admission. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Tanner says, for the record, yes, I do believe Dallas has a lot to offer. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. James Knight says, Jingles starting to fit with the Bucs. So happy for him.
Hey, he shot well last night, bro. I watched some of that game. That was nice, bro.
He's a bench role player though, and I think that's why they're after. That's why they're after Malik Beasley. Like they need a knockdown, no doubt about it, 3-point shooter. That's what that club needs. And if they get that, and a guy that can play 25 minutes a night, they're going to be.
That's the thing with Joe.
They're going to be lethal.
And I know we got to get to football 50 here, but the thing with Joe that I'll say is he's shooting the hell out of the ball for where he's at in his comeback here off the ACL. But I think the concern is, hey, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33 minutes for Joe. That's a lot right now. And unfortunately, that's just timing. That's, it's not like I think if Joe can get through the rest of the season healthy, take care of that knee, really get your confidence back, you're going to be in a fine spot. But that doesn't mean that they just have to skip over getting a guy like Malik Beasley.
The thing you like about Joe Ingles is you have to stand in front of him.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he doesn't bring the ball down, which I love. I think that is absolutely critical. It's what Lauri Markkanen does.
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen keeps that ball real high. Joe's a master at that. So it doesn't take him long to get it locked and loaded. And when Joe Ingles is hot, there ain't a rim in the world that can contain him.
Yeah.
Because he is fantastic. Football at 50, 10 of the hour. Every hour on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza.
We got to play the Brady sound first before I play the music.
Oh, I got to play the Brady sound.
Yeah. Sorry. Is what it is. How it works.
Make sure you... Limitations, motherfucker. Make sure you use our promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Download the app. It's super easy. Let's get to Tommy. This situation with Tom Brady is very interesting. Is Tom Brady retiring? Well, on his podcast titled Let's Go, no pun intended, let's go, make a decision.
Right.
Jim Gray asked Tom Brady if he had made a decision about his future in the NFL.
Tom, you're leaving everybody guessing. You've said you'll take your time. Do you have any type of a timetable as to what you might want to do regarding your football career?
Jim, if I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it. Okay? I'm taking it a day at a time.
Listen how awkward this is.
I sense you're antagonized by the question.
You're scratching.
It's only the question that everybody wants to hear.
You're scratchy.
Note the silence.
Scratchy. I appreciate your asking. Thank you.
Move on.
I can tell.
Dude.
Wow.
Play it one more time. Tom, and while you listen to this again, ask yourself, is Tom Brady still an elite NFL quarterback? If you're the Oakland, LA, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders, should you want this guy to be your quarterback?
Tom, you're leaving everybody guessing. You've said you'll take your time. Do you have any type of a timetable as to what you might want to do regarding your football career?
Jim, if I knew what I was going to fucking do, I'd have already done it. Okay? I'm taking it a day at a time.
Yowzer, dude. Incredible from Tom Brady right there. Is he still an elite quarterback? I think he is. I think the guy is absolutely, positively the guy that the Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders need. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get him to be my starting quarterback. You going to play the music or what?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I would absolutely. I can't do football 50 without the music.
Okay.
I would absolutely be trying to get Tom Brady to come to Las Vegas. I would absolutely be getting Tom Brady. Depending on if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, and I think there is a really high shot that they win the Super Bowl, I'm not doing it. If they get beat this weekend in Philly, I might lob a phone call to Tom Brady in San Francisco. That's his childhood team. I don't think Tom Brady's done. I think he needs a situation where they have an offensive line and they have strong skill players that can catch the football. San Francisco and Oakland, Las Vegas, that's those situations in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the tough thing for the 49ers is you got Brock Purdy now, who is this young guy who has, at a minimum 10 years to go here. At a minimum, like, depending on how great you are, you can play as long as 15, 16 years. I don't feel comfortable saying you can play 20 years in the league, but 10 seasons at a minimum for Brock here. If he stays healthy, stays in the pocket, plays the way he's playing, like, there's no reason he can't. And I just think that if you're the 49ers, like, I would just go all in on this guy. Like, I wouldn't waste my time with Tom because I know Brock with Tommy.
Thank you.
Because I know that Brocky Poo is already getting me into the postseason.
Brocky Poo.
Yeah.
Brocky Poo. I love it. I think he's still capable of winning a Super Bowl, and that's what matters. Marby Dog says F-bomb. Sean Mierzinski says Tom all about me Brady. Could be.
He's earned it.
Hall of Famer says Tom Brady's 87 years old. I don't think he's 87. I could be wrong. My math is always fuzzy. I don't believe he's 87 years old. Brent Burnett says TB12 is one injury away from being retired for good. But let's not wish harm on anybody. Alex Chacon says, yes, we need someone to hold everyone accountable and yell when someone needs to yell.
Right.
Well, that's Tom Brady, that's for sure. What do you guys make of this Damar Hamlin conspiracy theory? There is a conspiracy theory going around Twitter right now that Damar Hamlin was not actually the guy at the game on Sunday. And there are people who are saying there's no way that it's possible that Damar Hamlin is the guy that is walking around, and they're talking about how, Damar Hamlin must have had his skin lightened. And how can Damar Hamlin be the guy walking around when he had his skin lightened and he doesn't need oxygen? Any chance you buy into these conspiracy theories floating around about Damar Hamlin?
My only question about this situation is, why is he covering his face up and everything? You've got security with you. This story about Damar is all about inspiration and showing out and, like, being the face of that team and the face of that positivity train at that time before they lost. Like, that's what it was about. Damar has never been a guy that has shied away from that type of spotlight, if you will. Not saying that he enjoys it, but he's just not been that guy that's like, hey, I'm gonna walk up in a hood and sunglasses and cover my face. Like, that's not who Damar has been, And that's why I'm wondering, like, what was this about? And what was really interesting about this situation is, so before the game, we all saw that video of him, like, walking up the stairs and going in or whatever to the suite. But then after the game, they rolled Damar up. I believe it was Damar. I just think it was weird. They rolled Damar up in a cart to the locker room real quick, like, very quickly.
They did.
And I don't know, like, what... I just don't know why dude was covering his face like that. It just is a weird look. I don't know what you say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that clearly you can see him. There are photos of him being reunited with his teammates. But do we really believe so little? And in this picture that's on the screen, the guy in the red sweatshirt is Damar Hamlin. And people are like, he doesn't have oxygen. They supposedly cracked ribs when they did CPR. He had his skin lightened. Well, I mean, come on, dude. Do you really think that this is like a good interpretation of his skin tone? Stop with the conspiracy theories.
It is like, outside at night on a concourse with a bright-ass light on a camera. His skin is going to look lighter in that type of lighting, dude.
That was Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
I agree that it was interesting. I also think that why would they have a stand-in for him? Why would they go? That's the question.
Point?
Why would you have anybody stand in for him?
So if you're somebody saying there was a stand-in there, does that mean Damar Hamlin's dead? And does that mean that they faked the whole thing and that what do you mean?
What is the point of it?
Like, what are you talking about?
I don't understand the point of it. This is just me. I don't buy in the conspiracy theories. I've never been that guy. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
And when you look at Damar and he's been out in public, you look at his Twitter feed, he was out in front of the mural. Like,
yeah.
Why are we so desperate to have it be true that this wasn't Damar Hamlin? Why do we need that kind of desperation? I don't get it. And this is just me, and I think you guys are all crazy if you buy into it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody here who buys into it? Yes, I agree, Alex Chacon. These conspiracies are unbelievably stupid. Hamlin News brought to you by Infowars.com.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
People are saying DeMar pulled a Sammy Sosa with his skin.
Come on.
Come on now. TBE at DK says, it's weird. I can't understand why it would be wanted to be hidden. If he had passed away, he may not be the same as he was after being injured. You really think DeMar Hamlin's dead?
I don't think she's saying she thinks he's dead. I think what she's saying is that, hey, like.
But is there any chance he's dead?
No, there's no chance dude's dead. If dude was dead, the report would have come out. Like, if dude was dead, like, you that would have been known. Like, it's just.
This is weird, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's really weird.
You're not getting away from the fact that it's a weird look. You covered your face in a public setting at the Bills Stadium in the biggest game of the year. You're like, don't come to the game if you're going to cover your face, dude. Like, don't.
Yeah, I guess. Football 50 brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's, that's meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. I'm telling you, the meatball marinara is the best thing you're ever going to see. It is so good. The cheese actually melts into the meatball.
Yes.
I mean, you can use them as a snack. You can use them in pasta. I'm telling you, the best thing I've ever done, chop them up and put them on a slice of pie. It's, you get a Papa Murphy's pizza, chop them up, put them on top of it. Ooh. Them meatballs, your balls are versatile.
Hey, them meatballs
are versatile and stuff. All right, the Monty Show presented by our good friends at The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, where they never ask you to pay big retainers, consultation fees. No, friends. You do not pay The Advocates until they win your case. And again, I just want to say, please, I'm begging you, please, please, do not rely. Please. Do not rely on your insurance company. Please. Because they are not defending you. They are not watching out for your best interest. Insurance companies are beholden to their boards. They are beholden to their attorneys. They've got hundreds, if not thousands, of attorneys on staff at your insurance company. And you're not going to be represented by anyone? Who's going to fight for you? Well, it's The Advocates. When you get in an accident, if you get hit on a bicycle, your motorcycle, this time of year, obviously here in Utah, if you are in a car accident, if you slip and fall on a sidewalk, they do workers' comp as well. If you get hurt at work, theadvocates.com. You can chat with an attorney for free 24/7 at theadvocates.com. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being here. New members on the show this morning.
Infowars.com.
Thank you for that. You know, people really believe he's dead.
Infowars.com.
Wait. Do you think that DeMar Hamlin is alive?
Can we get a poll? Can we do a poll?
Come on.
Give people a chance to vote. Let's do a poll.
Why?
Just real quick. Come on, real quick.
I hate
Why do you hate polls?
I hate because it's always, well, I'm gonna vote the opposite to see what happens. Opposite poll.
Okay, well.
All right, I'm putting a poll up. Is DeMar Hamlin alive?
Yeah.
Like, are you serious right now? And I'm just going to do dead, alive. There you go. Ask your community. Are you serious that there are people who believe he's dead?
Yeah, clearly.
Let's
go. Start voting. Start voting.
I ain't judging you, but smoking crack this early in the morning, come on, man. Come on, man. DeMar Hamlin is not dead.
Infowars.com.
DeMar, you guys really believe this? You really believe this?
It's empty. Empty. The opposite full.
You guys.
Bro.
Do you understand what would have to have happened? The level of conspiracy theory that would have to have taken place for Hamlin to be dead. You understand that, right? Like the
yeah,
level.
Dude, I mean, dude, the guy is. The guy is. He's not dead, dude. Buddy is alive. He was at the game. He covered his face for whatever reason, man.
18 votes only. Let's go. Vote in the poll. At least, you know.
Vote in the poll. Come on.
Let's see what you got. I don't know, man. I am just of the belief, and this is just my opinion, there's not a chance on God's green earth he is dead.
No,
there's not.
No way.
I'm sorry, man. Like, it. Do you understand? Just think about the heaven and earth that would have to have been moved for this dude to be dead.
Yeah.
And nobody to know about it as a fact.
Yeah, I mean, but this is what we love. This is what we love, dude. This is what we want to do, right? We want to say, oh, the election was stolen. 9/11 was fake. A cloud in the sky looks like an alien spaceship. We're all going to die. Like, the vaccine is killing everybody. The government's out to get us. Like, this is what we do, bro.
That one letter of the alphabet.
Right? Like, this is what Jim Carrey's on Saturday Night Live, or he went on some show and talked about the Illuminati and did the sign. Like, this is what we do, bro.
Stop it.
Why do you think that Alex Jones is out here saying that, Sandy Hook people were crisis actors or whatever terminology? Like, this is what we do. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, I'm not surprised that all these people are like, oh, well, DeMar is dead and they have a stand-in. You have people out here saying that Trump is still the president and they face swapped him with Biden. Like, that's the level we're at.
I want to understand why we get into this stuff. Why do we get into this stuff?
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Yeah, like, who are you that believes this stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy, and I don't know. I don't know. I see videos all the time. I saw one yesterday on social media about 9/11 and how when the second plane hit, you see that big fire explosion, and that was
so
all
weird.
the airplane fuel burning off, and they said that the building fell and the way it fell. Like, dude, bro, chill out, bro. Like, you really think that people are going to these stretches, to these lengths, to these? Like, man, dude.
I just can't do, like, do you have, like, the whole,
Damn.
This goes back to, like, the Kennedy assassination.
Oh my God, flat Earth.
Oh,
flat
Kyrie
Earth.
Irving.
Kyrie Irving. Come on, dude.
Like, all of that stuff, and why do we need to attach ourselves to that? That's the thing that's so fascinating to me, because most of the conspiracy theories it would have to be hundreds of thousands of people.
To be, bro.
And all of them would have to stay perfect. Like in the DeMar Hamlin situation.
Yeah.
If you believe that DeMar Hamlin is dead, think about the thousands of people from the NFL office, the Buffalo Bills, the paramedics, the hospital.
With all due respect.
The mortuary, like the
fucking Cole Beasley.
The morgue, Cole Beasley. Like, all these people that would have to be dead silent. Dead silent.
Yeah.
If he were really dead.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think his family would be walking up the concourse yesterday and with smiles, or on Sunday with smiles on their faces? And
who the fuck is that guy?
Do you understand how improbable at best that is? What are you talking about?
What are we doing, man? Is there something in the air on Tuesdays on this show? Like, what are we doing, bro?
Seriously.
Come on, man.
I mean, like, DeMar Hamlin died on the grassy knoll in Dallas. Like,
what?
What? Like, what are we talking about, man? He's not dead. He's alive, and he was in Buffalo over the weekend.
Like,
DeMar Hamlin's not dead. And let's just go with let's just go with the conspiracy that they used a body double in the suite.
Right. For
what?
What's the purpose? What's the point? What's the motive?
Would that pump up his team more?
Infowars.com.
If fake, and then, by the way, if he was fake, do you think fake DeMar Hamlin went from the suite and then fake DeMar Hamlin got in the car and went into the Bills locker room? Are they bringing fake DeMar Hamlin into the Bills locker room?
Not DeMar Hamlin. No, DeMar Hamlin's not in the locker room. Not
DeMar Hamlin
is in the locker room.
Not DeMar Hamlin.
Dude. Like, what?
What? Like, for what exactly, Riley O'Brien? What's the game? What's the game? I need to understand.
Well, they're covering up that he got vaxxed, and that's why he died on the field, and then he didn't actually die.
Tell me that that's not what this is about.
Come on, dude.
Tell me that's not what this is about.
Don't sass me, Burkus.
Oh, my God. I think it's hysterical. Man.
Well, okay, where are we at in the poll? What's the poll results? What are we looking at here?
35 votes only of 152 people watching in the poll.
Okay.
86% say he's alive, but 14% of you idiots think he's dead. What? There's 14% of people in this poll no, I'm ending the poll.
What really do we have to lose?
No, bro, I'm ending the poll. I'm ending the poll. You can't tell me there's 13% of people in this room right now who think he's dead. There's no chance.
This case is empty.
There's
empty.
Where is Kobe's comment? What did you say? Anthony Kobe says, how the F are you comparing the CIA whacking JFK to... Exactly right. Exactly right. David Hume says, I voted dead not because I believe it or even care, but just to get you guys heated and going off. Hilarious.
Oh, dude, bro, the moon landing. That's where DeMar is. DeMar is
on
fake
the moon.
Landing.
He's
fake
on
moon
the
landing.
moon.
Yeah.
Him and Tupac are on the moon together. That's right. Ron Nolan says dead people are buried under daybreak. Hey, man.
Okay, man.
Could be.
Dude, that's probably why they're moving the bees, right?
He's no DeMar Hamlin, but he'll do. The body double is no DeMar Hamlin, but he'll do.
Trying to control their little worlds.
Marby says Hamlin wasn't there to support Buffalo. He was there to support Pfizer. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
See what I mean?
Thank
what
you.
I mean?
Thank you. Hamlin was the project manager for the pyramids in Egypt. I believe it. I believe it.
That's why the pyramids line up with Orion's belt. We get it.
Eric C. says, I have a coworker so deep in the conspiracy rabbit hole, stole the election. Alex Jones fan, some man, dude. Like Alex Jones, you understand. Alex Jones owes billions of dollars.
Infowars.com.
Over lies.
Tomorrow's news today.
Over lies on conspiracy theories. Are you kidding me? Jeremy Bolton, Hamlin was John Wilkes Booth's best friend.
Yes, dude.
Oh, my God. Tyler P. says, do a Tupac poll next.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even want to know.
Just put, okay, who's alive, Tupac or Biggie? Right? Just put them both right there.
We are getting dumber as a nation.
That's right. Correct.
Luis Capasso says, I'm still wondering why there are only 79 likes. Come on, people, smash the like button. Yeah, what's the conspiracy theory as to why you guys won't hit the like button?
Yeah, come on.
You know, that's hysterical.
Dude.
That is hysterical. Marby Dog says, court settlements rarely equal real money, but they equal your balls in a vice. That's what they equal. Mr. Preston says, I see dead people.
That's right.
Jaden King says he's lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes, the Bermuda Triangle.
Exactly
yes.
right. Macho Man says he's in Area 51.
That's right.
But I will say, and the funniest thing is, did you guys see this UFO sighting over the Mexican U.S.
hell
border?
Out of here with this, dude.
And people are like, oh, that's a UFO. Do you believe in UFOs?
I mean,
you
on some
do.
level, yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying that cloud was an alien spaceship sent to take over the world.
Yeah.
The cloud just was the cloud, dude.
You know.
You know what I believe in? I believe when they declassify stuff and it comes out and you're able to see like what pilots reported or what, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. I believe in that stuff because I don't think
you do.
Yeah, I don't think that like Navy or Air Force pilots have anything to lie about because their reports are classified, right? So like you're telling me they're going to report a sighting that really can't be proved for however long just because? Like they see things. They're some of the best eyes in the world, man. Like so I believe in some of that stuff, but all this nonsense about you know like fake moon landings and flat earth and dude, get back on the ayahuasca and chill on the couch, okay?
You know. Tyler P says UFOs are 100% real. Okay. Teddy Wayman says, yo, Mike Conley got invited to do the skills challenge. That would be cool. Will he be wearing a Jazz uniform when he does it?
Better send those refunds.
I think that, I saw that. He should absolutely do it. Mike has earned some accolades. Well, there you go, Teddy. Teddy, who's a member, says he might not be doing it for the Jazz, though. By the way, Teddy's done 11 straight days of outdoor cold plunges.
Dude.
11 straight days.
Dude.
24 hours from now, we'll be making a huge announcement about our March 10th birthday bash. If you're a member of the program, you already know what it is. So we're all super stoked about that. Tyler P. says, I don't believe for 1 second that Earth is the only planet in the universe with life on it.
Totally agree.
I agree. Do you guys see these? Roger Caricia. Monty, it's not that he left. It's how he left.
Here we go. Thank you for bringing Gordon Hayward back into the fold, my man.
Okay. Gordon Hayward, that's it. Lewis says, Raptor 88 actually splits Nevada and Utah out of the West Desert in the Dungway Proving Ground area. Okay. What do you guys make of those things that were buried in the desert, like the pillar that was buried in the desert?
Oh, the monolith.
There you go, the monoliths in the desert.
Yeah, it came out that someone was just putting them there, I guess. I remember reading about that somebody was just doing that.
But why were we so quick to say aliens were doing
it? Because of what it looks like, right? It's this rectangle, bright, polished, chrome.
I don't know what a rectum has to do with it.
Silver thing randomly in the middle of the desert. For all my Utah people, it's like all these little mini, radio relay towers getting put up in the mountains that they've been having to take down.
No, those are solar portable radio transmitters.
Yeah.
Like, why do you guys really think aliens are doing that? That's somebody trying to either drug traffic or something.
Excellent strategy.
I mean, that's a nefarious activity. If there ever was one. Did you guys see that? Somebody's putting up solar-powered broadcast antennas on mountaintops, and the Bureau of Land Management is having to go and take them down. And they're trying to figure out who's doing it.
Look at my guy Marty Dog right here, second from the bottom.
What about the bodies in the desert?
What bodies in the desert?
Do tell. Tanner Plummer says, better question, does Real Salt Lake exist on another planet? They don't exist on this planet.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
My bad. Jansen says, is there a universe where jazz games are on K-Jazz? Yeah, it's called Hell. Lopespan Gabe, does Real Salt Lake exist on this planet?
No,
exactly right.
No, dude.
Exactly right. I'm just telling you guys now, if you are a conspiracy theorist, your life is not good because none of them are true. Is there a conspiracy? And I won't judge you for it, not at least vocally. Is there a conspiracy theory you believe to be true? Do you think there are alien bodies in Area 51? Yes or no?
No. I do believe, though, that the government hides stuff from us that we just will never know about. I believe in that, right? I believe that the government, on some level does damage control on what the public knows and doesn't know.
Jared Eccles says, if you've been abducted by aliens, feel free to chat with an attorney at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. I would say that would be, Jeremy Severe says, Monty, Dugway Proving Grounds, yes, is Area 52, and they test chemical biological defense in the Western Desert. I worked there.
Okay,
I don't disagree with you.
But I'm being serious here. Are you trolling or are you actually saying that?
No, Dugway's a real thing.
Oh.
Dugway's a real thing.
I'm not familiar with that.
What they do there, that's a different thing. Is Jaden King says, is there a universe where I get a girlfriend, Jake? Why don't you answer that?
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Some people live in parallel universe with that PAH. Let's see. Mitch Davis, Michael Jordan gambling conspiracy, true or not true? I don't believe it's true.
Oh my, Jimmy Butler.
But Jimmy Butler being Michael Jordan's son, absolutely true. Michael Jordan is Jimmy Butler's dad.
I doubt that.
No, I'm serious.
Why would you doubt that?
Go Google search it. Michael Jordan, and I think it comes right up when you Google search it. Michael Jordan, sperm, Jimmy Butler. If you Google search that, Michael Jordan triangle. No, I ain't.
I guess not.
The first video that comes up on YouTube in a Google search, if you search Michael Jordan sperm Jimmy Butler, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't do it.
But
Michael
that's a
Jordan,
conspiracy
Jimmy Butler.
you believe in.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because it's not a conspiracy. It's true.
It's not a conspiracy.
Please.
And I believe that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son. It's just my opinion. And he is one. And the reason I say that is that Michael Jordan and Jimmy Butler's mom were in the same place at the same time 9 months before Jimmy Butler was born.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have seen them side by side, Daddy, I watch Maury Povich. I know how this stuff works.
Fucking A.
Okay?
Dude.
You know, I'm just saying Michael Jordan was listed at 6'6", Jimmy Butler's 6'7". You know, I'm just telling you. They look alike. I mean, like you look at the combination of their face.
I am your father.
Tell me I'm wrong. I believe that Michael Jordan is Jimmy Butler's dad. Marby Dog says you are not the father. I love Maury Povich when he's like, in the case of little Stefano, Jake.
Dun.
Jake, you are
dun,
not.
Dun.
When he like changes his Maury Povich, it's like, in the case of little Dickweed, Jake, you are the father. And then the man-eating woman jumps up and she's like, yeah, child support, let's go. Right? And then the best part is when it's not, he's like, in the case of little Maribel, Jake, you are not the father. And you just see the woman fall to the floor and her soul runs out of her body.
It's sort of a natural reflex.
Man.
So good.
Like a great show.
So good, dude.
And that my guy Justin Hintz got Maury Povich on my radio show one year at Sporting News Radio. And Maury Povich said that to me. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. Let's see. I believe that Otto Porter Jr. is somehow related to Wilt Chamberlain. We know Wilt was scoring back then prodigiously. Have you seen the one where the guy isn't the father, he does a backflip? Oh, yes. We used to watch that show. So I worked at Sporting News Radio. I did afternoon East Coast afternoon drive at Sporting News Radio. So it was on every day in our office when we were prepping for our talk show. Mm-hmm. And we would watch him do that stuff all the time.
I remember Maury Povich from Walnut Creek. That's where I remember Maury Povich from.
Once you remember Maury, you never forget
Taco Bell, Diet Mountain Dew, Maury Povich.
You know. Doomsday Clock just moved 90 seconds, Jacob DeLambo
Here
said.
we go. All right, let's do it.
Well, this was our non-sports story of the day today.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake actually got really upset with me before the show because I'm a guy that lives my life where I believe you have to live like every day is your last day on earth.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste.
So you got to do you, right? And I admit that not every day do I do that. I don't. But I'm telling you now, most days I do. And did they move it 90 seconds? Is that true? I see the press conference on Twitter. They moved it up. The Doomsday Clock is 90 seconds to midnight. So just in case. That means that the earth is now, or our lives are supposedly 90 seconds in the wrong way. The closest it's ever been to annihilation. Main reason, Russia. So if it gets to midnight, that means that death is imminent. So this group of people, by the way, is who does this. And Science and Security Board Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It's 90 seconds to midnight. The Science and Security Board of Bulletin Atomic Scientists moves the hands of the Doomsday Clock forward largely because of the mounting dangers of the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, because Buddy Pooty came out and said that they are not adverse to nuclear war. Right. So he came out and said that, which to me, I think you got to call his bluff on this one because I don't believe hey, maybe I'm naive. I'm no general.
No.
Right? I'm probably, an idiot. Who the hell knows?
Duh.
Yeah, well, I could have told you that. I just don't believe that when you really get down to brass tacks and you're sitting there getting ready to hit the button, you're really going to kill millions of your own people over pride. You're really going to do that over a piece of land, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it. For them, for the Russians, it's more than a piece of land. I get that. I understand. For them, that's their thing.
Yep.
But you do not want to pick a fight with our military. You don't want to do that. That is the end of you. And the problem is, when you get to that level of nukes, it's the end of everybody.
But it's the conspiracy theory that Vladimir Putin is on his deathbed. He is critically ill by some reports.
Mm-hmm.
There are reports almost daily now that they are plotting an overthrow of his government. And he is losing the war in Ukraine badly. Now some things have shifted. But he has said that he has no problem using nukes. I tend to agree with you. I really doubt that he would use nukes because I think it would mean the end of his people. And I think that rarely have we had the entire globe united against somebody. But, I mean, he's got a couple of allies, North Korea, Iran.
The
but other than
usual
that,
suspects.
Yeah, but other than that, like the whole world is against this dude. So, Eric says, I'm screwed. SoCal would definitely get nuked first. Well, I mean, there's a lot of military assets in Southern California,
I don't, to be honest with you, man, and I'd have to do some more homework on this, but I don't think it would ever get there. I don't think we'd ever get nuked because I think we have a robust defense system. I think that the U.S. for decades has been, building and I would hope, I don't know for a fact, but I would hope and think that we've been building that defense system. I know it exists. I know that the nuclear defense system exists. That's not a secret.
Yep.
But I think that, I just can't see it because think about how this would play out. Okay, Buddy launches his first nuke. We launch 2 for every one he has because that's the rumored number that's how many we have, allegedly. Right? So, okay, what then happens? Because this was the genesis of our conversation. Okay, nuclear war breaks out. Putin's launching his, we're launching ours. Let's say none of them make landfall, they all blow up in the sky, right? They all just blow each other up. That's still bad news for everybody. That's still nuclear winter. That's still like, hey, you're in deep trouble here. So the genesis of the conversation was, living every day like it's your last day and thinking forward and like, you know what I mean? Like that was the conversation.
Yeah, I think that would be a disaster. I don't know what you would do. I think that you have, my guess is, this is just purely a guess. In my experience, look at North Korea. When somebody's ramping up for a nuclear strike. I think we would take action at the 11th hour and 59 minutes. I think the world would unite against him.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see because I also don't think nukes are the most dangerous thing that can be deployed. I mean, chemical weapons, like, I don't know. It's a scary thing to think about. It is a terrifying thing to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, the doomsday clock, which is a group of scientists, and this started back in the nuclear,
the 40s.
Yeah, the nuclear days. But now it's it's climate change, like
all
of the things that are impacting the world. They moved it 90 seconds from midnight. That's as close to doomsday as it's ever been. I hope we never get there. I love living. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Macho Man says EMPs.
Yeah, dude. Another huge threat.
The rails on the show are off. There you go.
Hey, man, that's what the show is.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get, right? Like, but so let me ask you guys this, because I know we talk a lot about theology in life, and do you guys live your life with a sense of urgency? And, Jake and I, again, this morning had a pretty serious conversation about this because I do. Right, I'm not the guy that just goes home and falls asleep on the couch generally. And this cold plunge, cold shower thing has really changed the way I do business now because I have a lot more energy. I'm not tired during the day. And so I'm able I can get a lot more volume in during the day. But do you guys live your life with a sense of urgency? Do you ever think about what your life would be like? Like I saw a story last night laying in bed without a shirt on. I was reading, getting ready for the show, and I was reading a story about how this woman passed away at 68 years old. And somebody made a quote that she had lived a long, full life. I'm like, 68 years old is not old. Like, I don't want to die at 68. God damn, I'm almost 50. That's only 18 years. That's all I get to live, right? Like, so I'm taking all these cold showers and I only get 18 years, right? That's kind of how I look at it. Like, I believe you have to live your life. Oh, look at this. The Monty Ghost is in. Enjoy your life while you can. Never know when it will end. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, Marby Dog says, climate change equals you will eat bugs and be happy. Do you live your life with a sense of urgency?
I mean, sometimes, probably inconsistently so. You know, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah, I think that comes with age. Because I think you realize, like, I've lived 50 years on this planet. And what have I really accomplished? Like, if I died today, I wouldn't really have a legacy. Like, that matters to me. Like, I think about that. What would my legacy be if I died today? I get hit by a bus on the way home. What's my legacy? I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that. And it's terrifying to me. You know, like, it is one of those things, you know, like, I really want to understand, you know, like, what am I doing here? You know? Joshua says Monty is the shadow owner of Quick Quack Car Wash. Man, I wish.
That would be amazing, dude.
That'd be printing money.
If I could own a car wash, it'd be a conveyor belt car wash, and I'd be doing as many muddy ducks as I could.
Yeah, but they're just so expensive to build. I love Quick Quack Car Wash. Hook it up.
Quick Quack's awesome, dude.
Tell me you heard about it on the Monty Show. Marby Dog, people dying way younger than 68 these days, and it's just such a short, you know, like 68 years is a short life.
Yeah.
I want to live to be 150, 200 years old. I hope by the time I'm dead, there is life-extending technology or medicine.
Did you see that? What came out? They have now figured out how to repair your DNA so you don't age.
That's what I'm talking.
It's come. They've done it in rats. They haven't done it in humans yet, but they broke through with rats, and they were able to successfully reverse the aging process.
Yeah. Eric C. says, Jake looking at Monty when he says, I have no legacy. You know. Jansen says, if God forbid you passed away while the show is still running, would you want Jake to continue the show? I have no idea. I would want Jake to do what Jake wants to do. You know. Jeremy Bolton says, whoever owns the Quick Quack in Centerville still needs to get them vacuums fixed. The vacuums are amazing. I agree. That's a huge part of it. Ron Nolan, so you're so right. Sorry, not Kaibob. Kolob. Okay. You know. Marby says rat DNA. What could go wrong? That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying that's a big step forward, bro. You figured out how to make it so a rat doesn't age. That's a big step forward.
Well, that's where everything starts in a laboratory.
I mean, you're talking about like injecting rats with cancer cells and figuring out how to beat cancer, right? Injecting rats with this or that to figure it out. And I'm telling you guys, that was a huge step in the right direction.
By the way, speaking of stupidity, here on the Monty Show, can we talk about this professional slapping league? We need to talk about this because I don't understand it. And I'm looking for my slapping video, Jake.
It's a picture, not a video.
Oh, it's a picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a couple of pictures, actually.
Somebody needs to explain this to me. What are we doing? Like, this dude's face exploded. Look at that. Are we seriously doing this now? Like, do you guys watch this stuff?
I don't. I'm
serious. Look at that guy's face. This is nothing more than YouTube or Instagram fodder, in my opinion. Like, okay, so let me get this right. You get 72 years to live on this earth, I think, is the median age of people who die. This is what you're doing with your face? Do you enjoy watching those videos?
No, I don't.
It weirds me out.
It's watching, because all you're doing there is lining up to get a concussion. That's it. You're lining up to get, to take impact to your head, and that's it. So to me, it's like, yeah, dude, I guess if you want to do that, cool. But I'm not here to go to sleep, dude. That's not what I'm doing.
Marby Dog says, is it an intramural league? Apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
play intramurals, brother.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a real thing. I'm not even joking. Like the professional slapping league, and it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And the thing that's hard for me is it's called the Power Slap League. The Power Slap League. And Dana White apparently is involved in the Power Slap League.
Wow. Who'd have thought that Dana White would be involved in a league that's about slapping people?
I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I don't understand why people are doing this. And they have like these slap fight championships.
I love, you know what I love? It's in an octagon. I think that's hilarious, dude.
This is crazy. Like this dude's head that we showed you. This is a picture of his face. His head exploded when he got slapped. That's your face, bro. And look at the guy. Look, them dudes is not strong. I'm never doing this, and I'm never watching it.
No, can't do it, bro.
And they use like the hand chalk, and I don't understand it.
And there's
I don't
like a
get
technique too. Keep your chin down. Flex your neck as best you can. Like, dude, like this guy is twice your size, bro. It's twice your size,
and almost knocks him out.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, right? Hey, I'm going to slap dude as hard as I can, and it's whoever doesn't fall. You notice how they have their hands on the table?
Yeah.
The hands on the table thing is so that you can
don't
hold
block
on.
it. No, that you don't block. You don't try.
No, but yes. But also, you notice when they start to fall over, they hold on to the table.
Oh my god! And then watching the women do this.
It's not for me, dude. I don't know why people do this. I really don't know. And then what's funny to me is they got to switch sides that they're getting slapped on because it gets so freaking swollen that they can't even operate anymore. Like, I just don't get it. Buddy just slapped this guy and dude didn't even move, dude.
And he laughed at him.
Bro. Dude, I'm not here for it.
Bro.
I can get down with respecting mixed martial arts. I can get down with that. It is a craft. It takes dedication, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Will Smith started this.
Yes, he did.
Tyler P. says, I can see this thing being a sequel to Over the Top movies. Remember Over the Top, the arm wrestling? You don't even know who Sylvester Stallone is.
Please.
Josh Mose says, I'm waiting for the spinoff Pimp Slap League.
Yeah,
oh, my
come
God.
on, dude. Come on, dude.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Richard Woe says, intercepted nukes are destroyed before they can explode. Hey, man, that'd be great.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they exploded. They don't explode at all if you intercept them?
I don't...
I'd have to research that, but if that's true, that's great.
I feel the same way about the UFC. Near Roman Empire type brutality. Why watch and support that? There is a female version of it too. I don't.
But listen to me. Listen to me. Hear me out. Mixed martial arts is different, okay? I understand there's a certain brutality to it. But just because you don't like the brutality of mixed martial arts does not mean that it's a bad sport. Mixed martial arts is a craft. It is to be respected. It is no different than being the best quarterback in the league or whatever, right? Like, I don't think it's any different. These people are choosing to do that. This slapping thing, to me, the only reason this slapping thing is different is because it's casual. It's two jamokes who put a shirt on and want to slap each other. They don't know taekwondo, they don't know jiu-jitsu, they don't know striking. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I have an issue. If you want to sign up to be a cage fighter and you want to learn how to grapple and wrestle and strike and all that good stuff, I'm down. I'm down with it. I don't like the brutality, but I could respect it. This is childish stuff here.
Yeah, and this dude's getting his face cut open. I can't watch it anymore.
No.
Homie, this is the first slap. His cheek above his beard line now is sliced open.
Yeah.
From the power of the slap. Like, I'm just
not here for it.
We preach grotesque violence in this society.
Yeah.
And I used to love UFC. I was all about it. I can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't, especially the women's stuff. I just can't. I can't do it. I agree with Jake. MMA takes more skill and athleticism than most or all sports, Jansen said.
It does.
It's a sport. There is a defense mechanism in it. You're going to get knocked out? Yes, you are. Boxing, you're going to get knocked out? Yes, you are. But, I mean, you're not going to take necessary damage. In this stupid slapping league, all you're doing is getting your head ripped off.
Yeah.
And people are paying for that? I can't see paying for that. It's barbaric.
the only reason I'm down with MMA is because MMA is not about getting knocked out per se. Like, that happens, yes. And we all love the great finish and they get paid, and I get all that. But that's not what MMA is about. MMA is about who is better that night. Who is able to execute their craft at a higher level given the matchup. My problem with this slappingly crap is that there is no defense for it. Your defense is, hey, is your brain able to handle the trauma or not? Like at least in MMA, I know, hey, I'm a striker. I'm not a grappler, but I'm going up against someone who has got more ground game than me. Well, better keep it off the ground. Better keep it on the feet, right? Like the age-old adage of how to win a fight. Like, I'm okay with that. But this slappingly stuff, I just don't like it, man. It feels very schoolyard, bravado thing. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels very, like, childish, not professional-esque. And the idea that Dana White's behind it is embarrassing as hell. Like, that, how are you... I just don't get it. And by the way, nothing has been done about Dana White, at least that I've seen. So
he's not going to get punished for that.
Yeah, but I think people are still going to keep talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Last topic of the day before we get out of here is Apple. It's National Macintosh Day.
Yeah.
I'm an Apple guy.
Right.
I everything I do is on a Mac of some sort. And what's interesting is, have you guys been following the layoffs? I don't know if you have or not. Look at the tech layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at the tech layoffs. And what do you notice? What do you notice about these layoffs? Well, in the bottom right corner, what do you see there? Apple hasn't done layoffs.
Mm-hmm. What'd they do instead?
Well,
he took a $50 million pay cut on his salary every year.
Well,
that's what they did.
But look at Alphabet in the top right corner, which is Google. They just laid off a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook laid off 12,000. And if you look in the bottom left, Microsoft just laid off 10,000 workers. So one of the things I'm really interested in, and I don't know what you guys think, is that I think Apple's actually very good for our country. I think it's one of the stronger tech companies out there. And maybe they have layoffs, I don't know. But do you care that these companies are laying people off? Like, will you buy less Windows products? And by the way, are you Team Mac or are you Team Windows? Because you can't be both.
Right.
I don't believe that you can be both. So are you Team Mac or are you Team Window?
Yeah, I mean, clearly, we're both Team Apple, Team Mac. I mean, I love my MacBook to the point where when I have the money, I would totally upgrade it and get, an even higher end version. Like, I just love MacBooks. I love how they operate. I love the way they work. I love the durability. Like, I'm just about it. But again, I'm not going to sit here and have some pissing match about which is better. I very much think it is a experience / just opinion preference conversation.
I'm sorry, did you say experiential?
Yes. Like, I think that the Windows Droid person is going to say that Apple is just catered to the masses and it's too easy to use and you can't do anything with it. And it's like, okay, well, hey, maybe I'm a simp. I don't know. But I really enjoy the experience of Apple and MacBook. And one of my favorite things, and I'm not trying to make the case that this makes Apple better or anything. I'm just simply saying it's one of my favorite things about Apple is when you get a new MacBook or you get a new iPhone, you turn the thing on for the first time, it talks to all your devices, and they all sync up just like that. And everything's on your phone or on your MacBook. It is one of the best experiences possible, in my opinion. So that's one of my favorite things. Now, I will say I had a couple years ago, I had a smaller MacBook that got really criticized for its keyboard, and it wasn't a good keyboard. I got the new one, and it's much better. So I do also feel like they implement feedback as well.
But the other thing that I would also say is that I think that it depends on what you're using it for. First of all, nobody has like a desktop computer. I think 99% of us, right? Am I the only one that believes that most people don't have desktop computers? I think if you have a job and that computer does a job, you'll use a desktop computer. But if you're just at the house or if you're just doing business or whatever, you're using a laptop.
I think the only thing that people would use desktops for at the house outside of what you said would be gaming. I think if you're a serious gamer.
If you built a gaming engine.
That would be the only other thing I could think of.
I think it's awfully difficult these days. If you're in any kind of art if you're in video, if you're in audio, if you're in any kind of creation, I don't know how you get away from Mac because their creation suite is just so much better.
Yeah.
So much better, in my opinion. Let's get your thoughts in here. Alex says Galaxy forever. Come on, bro. Like more and more people every day go to iPhone. And I'm not even talking about iPhone versus Android. That conversation is over.
And that, I think, also is another important point, though. The phone conversation is not what we're having. We're not talking about phones. We're talking about overall experience, because I really think that this concept of, hey, Apple integrates everything really well together. They all talk to each other.
Yes.
I think that really matters when you compare Windows product. Like, what is the name of Mrs. Monty's computer? It's not the Slate. I can't remember. It is
Edge.
So like, I look at that and I say, hey, it really matters to me that I can easily buy a new product and have it work all together right out the box. That matters to me.
Yep. Lopes Fan Gabe says, I don't demand much out of my electronics, so Windows Android is just fine. I would never get my money's worth out of overpaying for Apple products. Well, that's a legit concern. Absolutely. Alex Chacon says, Apple is better when it comes to phones, but you can't have an overpowered gaming PC with Apple.
No, but see, that's true too. That's a great point. You're not going to catch someone buying a Mac Studio, let's say, which is Apple's desktop computer essentially. You're not going to catch someone buying that product to build it into a gaming PC. That is Windows all day. That is 100% true.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. It definitely, in that sense, is a preferential thing. But I'm saying for the vast masses, that's why Apple is so good.
Yep, I don't disagree. This hour of the show is presented by our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Talk about them every day on the show because they're amazing and they've earned it. bbqpitstop.com. I'll tell you already, every time you hear the name Barbecue Pit Stop, you know they have the best barbecue equipment. There's just no doubt about that. Whether it's, I'm a Traeger guy, but there's Yoder, Big Green Egg, Camp Shep. Absolutely, you can get the best equipment at Barbecue Pit Stop. But what you might not know is, did you know all of their Utah locations now have meat counters? From Logan, Layton, Lehigh, the GZ, St. George, and Murray across on State Street, across from the mall, they all have meat counters. Did you also know that you can shop online at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Shop online, pick it up. Shop online, have them ship it to you. Wherever you are, bbqpitstop.com. But you're really paying for the expertise of them dudes at Barbecue Pit Stop because I use their stuff every day, man. Like I made wings over the weekend. Clinton at the Lehigh store taught me how to season and let them rest before you put them on the grill because you want those seasonings to get into the fiber of the meat, break down the acids, break down the material, have nice soft. Those are the most. And I had some 2-day-old wings yesterday. Asado seasoning on all drums, forget it. It's amazing. Day 2, I'll finish them today because I just can't let them sit there. It's amazing how good they are. Mm-hmm. But, man, I'm telling you, you smoke drums because we know we don't eat flats on this show, but drums, Asado seasoning, season them and let them sit on the counter for I let mine sit for a good half an hour the other day. The moisture and the tenderness that I got out of that meat, ooh, and the you know what the cool thing was? The smoke on the inside when you oh man, I'm telling you, it's amazing. That's what you're paying for. Clinton's going to talk to you about that, and you can chat with them on their website. Tell them, hey, Monty said to chat with you on your website. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Damn it. Because Barbecue Pit Stop deserves your business. They're good dudes. They're local entrepreneurs. Please shop local businesses. People like Barbecue Pit Stop. People like, like our guys at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Those are all entrepreneurs at Quick Quack Car Wash. They're all entrepreneurs. Guys like the Advocates. I've known Matt Driggs for over 10 years. That guy's a local entrepreneur that's had a firm that's exploded. Pay local, shop local, keep your money with entrepreneurs like the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop, the best barbecue equipment and the best expertise to go with it at bbqpitstop.com. All right, talking about Macs versus Windows. Brandon Butler says, I am whatever my job is paying me to use. Mm-hmm. I'm down. Pied Piper says, I'm both. I use Mac at work and I have an iPhone and I love them, but I grew up on Windows and they can play games. I built my Windows desktop for half the price of a Mac and it's twice as powerful.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Alex says Galaxy forever. Come on. Jordan Royal says, I'm more comfortable using Windows computers than Mac, but my last 2 jobs have issued me MacBooks, so it's forced me to get used to it. I'll never have an iPhone again.
No, he said I'll never not.
But I will never not. Excuse me. But I will never not have an iPhone again.
Yeah.
Why are you reading over my shoulder, man?
Hey, I'm just,
The actor and member Greg Hawkins says Team Apple. Let's go. Well, more Team Peach, but nothing? Okay.
Yeah.
Jansen says, I have a gaming laptop since I'm in college. I use it for school and gaming. Love it. Ron Nolan says, I totally believe in the lap dance. What is this thing called a laptop?
Thank you, Ron.
See what he Tanner says, overall experience, I would say Windows. Okay. Raphael says Team Apple. I'm surprised we're getting so much Apple support this morning. That's usually not the case. Go ahead and hit the like button while we talk Apple versus Windows. What?
Teddy's comment. You scroll down. Teddy just commented something funny.
Teddy Wayman. Where is he? Jake proofreading. Shut up. Kanai Johnson makes a hurtful comment and says flats.
That's right, sir.
Pumps and a bump.
That's right.
Lewis says flats and drums are great, but with that blue cheese stuff. Stop
dude.
it.
Dude, we were having such a good show, too. Damn.
John Jackson. JJ, what's up? Where you been, dude? Good to see you. He says, I got my Traeger for Christmas and spent over an hour getting advice, BBQ pit stop, on how to smoke the best baby back ribs. Once you smoke, there's no going back. I've been converted to Traeger Church.
That's right. Damn right,
dude,
sir.
I'm telling you.
It's legit, bro. And now you're figuring out it's easy to use, right? You're figuring out, hey, all I got to do is plug that thing in, make sure the pellet box is full, and then I can just focus on whatever product I'm trying to make.
I'm saying. Eric C. said, I wonder if the Apple product was completely made in the U.S. by Americans. How much would that cost? Oh, my God.
A lot more.
Jansen, he's a good man. Jansen's a good man. Drums are superior to flats, my guy.
No.
Alex says, I can see Jake is craving those flats.
I'm craving food, bro, of any variety right now.
I am telling you, how do you like flats over drums?
I
don't get this.
You started this. Let me take the Donald Trump theory of life. You started this. You're the one saying it. I never did anything wrong. I'm perfect in all ways. Me? I never said the wings were rigged. I never said that I stole some drums and, then said I'm a flats guy.
Jake,
I never said that.
What time is it? Why does that matter? Well,
depending on the time, you could have one drum or several, right? Like, to me, look, flats are good. The reality is, in my opinion, drums are much easier to eat.
Force G, that's a lie. I dip my apples in blue cheese.
Get the hell out of here.
If that's true,
not.
bro.
Okay. I'm going to need to compel you, even if it's just for a month, join the membership. I want picks. Picks or that didn't happen.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm not buying it, dude.
Jeremy Bolton says, I'm team your mom.
Well.
Okay. Fat Jesus says, Apple while eating my flats. Okay. You're pushing your luck. I dip my apple in blue cheese. It's blue. I misspelled it.
Well, I mean, that's because you're a casual, right?
Cade Chrisley, where you been, bro? Cade says, Apple ecosystem is great. Windows price is great. People will be happy with what they get.
Facts.
I agree. Tyler P., Apple is for casuals. Window is for people that like to build their own stuff. I agree with that.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
I'm a computer casual. I am. Friday night plans. Okay. Windows for computers, although I'm using an iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch, I'm going to go to Android on my next phone.
Hey, Friday night plans. You got any plans Friday night?
See what he did there?
See what I did there? It kind of all works together.
Apple Watch, iPhone.
Right,
Mac everywhere. Right. Lewis says, I did ribs on Sunday, turned the pit boss on, and walked away for 5.5 hours. One tasty meal was served that day.
I must say that is one of my favorite things about smoking. If you're doing a long-term smoke, you can just turn that thing on, put your thing on the smoker, whatever your thing is, and just walk away and come back later in the day and it's good to go.
Joshua says, I don't discriminate. All wings are created equal. Oh,
look at my boy Teddy Wayman coming through for me. Let's go.
Teddy.
Let's go.
Bro, Teddy. No.
That kid's a stud.
Let's go.
Back it down, Teddy. Why would you say that?
This again.
Oh, God. Jeremy Bolton.
Raptor, bro.
How am I the only one that's on team drums here?
Because your team stand. All these dudes are team lean.
Drosat, God, please don't. Drosat says flats and drums. Jansen says, I hate flats because I can't get all the chicken. I feel like you got to get more meat on the drum. The problem
it is about getting more meat, you know?
The problem with a guy that eats flats is, before you know it, he goes on from a flat onto a tube. I mean,
what's up, big bro?
Yeah, let me spread the bone apart and then,
Bro, what?
Can you do something for me?
It's disgusting. Lee Jansen says, are the thighs or legs type person, and I'm talking about chicken. Thighs, bro. Drums and thighs. But I'm a breast man personally. I'm a breast man, you know. David Hume says flats and blue cheese all day. Stop it, you guys. No.
You like how he's like, let's go.
No. Jeremy Bolton says F blue cheese. Exactly right.
That's right.
Luis Capazzo says you get the most meat off of flats. No, you don't. No, you don't. Flats and lean.
That's my guy right there.
Ryan.
Let's go, Ryan.
Flats and lean? Do you use flats as a shim so it's easier to lean?
A shim.
You're just shimming under your thigh, man. Forrest G says, Jake, I want a detailed description of how you get that chicken out between the bones.
Yeah, you and duck season, okay? Yeah.
Alex Chacon says, apple flat ranch lean. I'm not reading that comment.
Bro.
Apple
dude.
Flats Ranch Lean Gang.
That's right.
Disgusting. Jacob Yates, because it's called chicken wings, not chicken legs, but yeah, thighs all day. John Jackson, Monty is making a list of flat lovers to block from his Instagram.
That's right, John.
I'm putting you on a list,
John,
man.
bro, John, when are you hopping in the membership?
Let's go,
John?
JJ.
Come on, bro. Let's go.
Let's go. By the way, you guys,
dude.
the announcement tomorrow, you're going to regret not being a member, because everybody who is a member before 8 a.m. tomorrow, dude, life is going to be good. Because I'm telling you, the announcement we're going to make about our birthday bash tomorrow, dude, it's going to be amazing. Matt Ritson, what's up? I like my iPad, so watch the Monty Show. Exactly.
There you go,
right.
Matt. There you go.
Exactly right. Ron Nolan says, eating the flats properly, it's all technique. Pinch, slide, dip. The girls at Hooters taught me firsthand.
Hey, attaboy, Ron. Attaboy. That's my guy.
Christopher Leal says team lean. Jansen says drums and squats.
Hey,
exactly right.
Hey,
exactly right. Luis Capazzo, you do too. You have to know how to pull them apart. Clean bones.
I'm not making any assertions about pulling apart bones, okay?
Too late. Oh, SLC. Pea Shooter says flats and blue cheese while listening to Monty on my Windows machine.
There you go. There you go. You know what I mean?
And that's how
exactly.
I look at it.
Forrest G says, Hooter girls also taught me how to eat clams too.
Oh, is that so?
Are Hooters girls hot?
As a kid, they're hot. Once you grow up, they lose the allure.
So you think they're hot?
As a kid.
Yeah, you could. Right. So you think they're hot?
Right. Yeah, I'm like 5 years old. We get it. Yeah. Right. See what he did there? Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Are Hooters girls hot? I don't know. Siri Kalsa says, I like cheese.
Okay.
Well, I mean, congratulations, my guy. I mean, congratulations.
Yeah.
Tyson Nordgren. Drums aren't legs. They're part of the wing. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay.
Kanai Johnson says, yay, Teddy, let's go
That's
flats.
That's right.
Let's go.
If you guys ever want to kick it, we'll flow.
Okay. That's fine. The Monty Show on a daily basis is presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Apparently the show is ending now. Theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney live online 24/7, theadvocates.com. If you're in Arizona, Idaho, Montana, Utah, come on, man, hook it up. Theadvocates.com. Tell me you heard about it on the Monty Show. Should I say goodbye?
Not yet. You can run it out a little bit.
8 o'clock tomorrow morning, massive announcement on the show about the show. By the way, seriously, let it run out a minute, because right now on this Fine Here program, we have 9,885 subs.
I'm telling you guys, it's happening by the end of tomorrow, bro.
115 subs to go. Hit the like button. Help us get there. We're at 101 likes. If all 148 of you hit the like button right now, if you haven't, let's go. Huge announcement, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Hopefully 10,000 subs tomorrow. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.